Welcome, welcome. Let me just make sure I can see everybody. Okay, what else did I want to check? Stream elements, overlay. Hey, Pyro. How's it going? Did you have a reaction to TMV discussing you earlier today? I was really caught off guard by it. I really appreciate it. He's a very, very real one for that. YouTube chat, you guys aren't added onto Caster Labs yet. It always takes a little while, but I see you at work, so can't stay, but just want to wish you a great stream. Thanks, Keyframe, appreciate it. Always appreciate you dropping by. Boss Rodell, welcome. Thoughts about the Champions bundle? The IL bundles, right? You're talking about like the Americas, Pacific, that stuff. I'm gonna say I'm not huge on it. I'm not huge on it because okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Karambits in Valorant don't really do much for me, but I don't necessarily think they're bad. They just don't do much for me. And then there's the other fact is that I have the lock-in bundle for Pacific, so I already have something that reps Pacific, and I actually kind of like the lock-in bundle. Like the lock-in bundle got laughed at when it was first released, and it was pretty clear that it was kind of haphazardly put together, but I kind of like it. But the VCT, but I guess the part of it is that the lock-in bundle, it felt like the logo is very clear. Maybe it's just because in the video, maybe in-game it'll look different. The logo is very clear, the color's very clear, but the Karambits, they just look like RGXs, if that makes sense. So like there's no, it doesn't feel like it's a VCT bundle. I'm not saying it has to be fancier, but yeah. I think the buddy and the player card is nice. I think the buddy's a nice addition. I think the buddy's kind of nice, actually, but yeah, no, the lock-in bundle is actually kind of lit. It's definitely lost in the times now, but yeah, I remember like a lot of people around me were like, "Oh, you bought the lock-in bundle?" And I was like, I mean, I get that it's kind of not quite there, but I thought it looked nice for what it was. And now people wish they bought it. Yeah, so I don't know. How much is it? How much is the new bundle? I haven't checked out the cost of it. What's up, Tron? I gotta get better at checking it on Discord every now and then. Tron, speaking of which, since you're here, are my links correctly showing up in the description of the stream? Could you double check? Also, yeah, so are these being, I mean, it says like the support for the esports side of things, is that just because it's the logo, or like, I don't know, does it like do anything for the actual leagues? I guess I'm not very clear on that. But yeah, it's a pity you and Sliggy weren't there yesterday for Planet Chat. Was Sliggy not part of any of the segments, or just the Pacific one? I mean, they had booked everyone like way ahead of time on rotation, so. But which is why I just sent over the T1 Meteor stuff anyway, just because I thought it'd be good for them to at least bring it to light. The way Sideshow read it was very matter of fact, but it's not like, how else was he gonna read it without watching it and understanding it? So I don't think he necessarily like twisted anything, and he obviously made it clear that things might be lost in translation. But it is funny to me that I guess you can really look at that clip or read the transcript with bias a lot, right? Like if you're looking for reasons to hate on Autumn, then it gives you all the more reason to hate him, I guess. But if you're looking for hope, then it gives you all the reason to hope. So button links aren't oh, they're not like being transformed into buttons. That works on my video, so I'll have to double check. But okay, as long as the links are clickable. But yeah, TMV going on a rant on my behalf, I guess. No, I really appreciated it. I was caught off guard because I was like ready to joke back in chat because he was like, this has been bothering me a bit, and I was like, oh boy, what's he gonna say? And I was like ready to fire off in chat. And then he started like going serious mode, and I was like, oh, well, this is, I don't know what to say here in chat. And he just sat there. But no, I really appreciate it. Regardless of what comes of it, it's always a nice gesture because obviously it's not like something he had to do, or not something, you know, that's like part of the show or whatever. So but hey, for what it's worth, I mean, I'm making the best of what we have, and I am enjoying trying to figure out what to do with YouTube and Twitch. So hanging out with you guys. I saw in Reddit comments that it was the same with Autumn even during the C90s. No, sure, but my point is that Meteor's conclusion was that, okay, so when I demanded it, he could do it, and obviously Meteor is not going to like discuss exactly all that happened. So I doubt, you know, like for instance, like the like player focused feedback, I doubt was always like call timeout and say, hey, like Meteor, wake up, and then he just stops talking for 40 seconds. You know, I'm sure it was more like, hey Meteor, you gotta like focus because these trips, like this trip is not what we practice. It's, you gotta put it here, stuff like that. And then I'm sure even the, you know, timeout. Well, maybe the timeout during the Paper X game was a little bit simplified, like it was like that, just given the context of the story. But Meteor's conclusion was that, okay, so Autumn can give me the timeouts I want and that I think our team needs. And he was like, so I wonder why that didn't happen before. But then in the beginning of the story, he mentions like Autumn said he tried it, but it didn't work out quite well, which is why he stepped out, you know, wasn't doing it. So maybe he tried to do it last year. But again, I think my conclusion is that I don't know about why on C9, but coming over from C9, he has Zeta, right? So probably just there was no need, like he didn't ever feel the need to do more hands-on, like actual timeout coaching, to make, if that makes sense. And then on top of that, as someone else noted in the Reddit thread, generally head coaches in Korea, in league at the very least, and I think that's just generally kind of how the vibe has been, the head coaches are more kind of the managers and, you know, the team, you know, vibe and overall regimen and stuff like that. Obviously things are a little different in Valorant with Termi and Solo and them having their own styles of doing things, but even them, like, I know they don't like micromanage everything, and we see, like, even now, like, teams with assistant coaches, sometimes the assistant coach like takes over the entire timeout. So I don't necessarily think that's like a problem in and of itself. It's just that I think the focus should be that when Meteor said he wanted it and Autumn tried it, Meteor got what he wanted. So it feels like it's more of a, he never quite either learned to do it or never had the need to do it with Zeta there before, and how he was IGLing. And then and this is pure assumption, because obviously we don't have any facts, but given how the roster rotations were happening last year at T1, and then Meteor mentioning in passing, yeah, Autumn said something like he tried it last year and it didn't quite work out, I'm not really sure. To me, that sounds like he probably tried to do it, but he wasn't on the same, like, whether it's the style, the strats, whatever, wasn't on the same page with the IGLs they had, and they kept rotating IGLs, not just to fit that, but like, it was just a whole mess, right? So it sounds like then, you know, he's, now he's trying to figure that out. Sen is back. Well, we're gonna watch some Sentinels today. We're gonna watch the Sen Loud game finally. I've watched a little bit, but I haven't sat down with it. Not giving prescriptive tax feels questionable at best. Oh, I would agree. Right. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not quite sure exactly what was going on before, but I think the conclusion, I don't know, to me, because everything I hear from the T1 players that like stick around, or that, you know, that have liked their time on the team, is that, you know, like Izu was going at bat for Autumn when he was on a Korean podcast, and he was like, I know a lot of people like doubt and hate on Autumn, but I don't think that's necessarily fair, because I think a lot of it is actually player error. But despite that, he never says it's player error in any interview and stuff like that. And then he says Autumn's the one mainly cooking up comps. And then now Meteor, obviously he had some criticism, but then he's like, yeah, but then when I asked for it, he did it. So like, I don't know why it wasn't happening before, but like, that's what we wanted, and that's what's working now. So it's like, to me, the conclusion is that he is capable. If he wasn't before, yes, I guess that's bad, but I guess the point is that it looks like he will now. So yeah, just Autumn here. Feels like his strats are a mile wide and an inch deep. I still have in my mind Champ Smith him having banned Solar, be along pro, and have his feed dry. I mean, listen, not all of it's great, but my takeaway was that, oh, this might, but I guess the real focal point, I guess, to me, is that like Meteor is able to bring that out from the team and Autumn, right? So Meteor being very vocal about this is what we need. And you can argue all you want about, well, the coach should have been able to do that before anyway, and like, I guess that's true. But whether it's out of lack of experience or whatever, if he's able to do it now, like, is there a problem? I don't think so, right? So I think that's hopeful, and then it just goes to show, I think Meteor during his time on Gen G has grown so much that he now knows exactly what works for him and a team in terms of coaching, like whether it's during live or outside of it and things like that. So I'm more confused as to why Meteor revealed that on stream. So that's why, to me, it sounded like it was kind of obviously partially self-glazing, but also to kind of defend Autumn. That's what I took away from it. It didn't, like, the way he was saying it didn't sound like it was pure frustration. There was a little bit just overall about their current level of play, but it was much more about like, let me help explain like what's going on here. And then in terms of VOD review, like the T1, obviously like league players do that as well after Worlds and stuff. Obviously the tournament's still going on, so I didn't watch the whole stream, so I don't know if he like actually broke down like all their strats. I doubt he did. I think it was more just like going through it and being like, because he used to do that even on Gen G. He would like watch things back and people would like do a mini AMA. And he would just say things like for instance, like he'd be there was one famous clip where he's like, yeah, this really pissed me off because we could hear the casters freaking out, like stuff like that. So it's like he explains certain things that the audience would be curious about, but not necessarily strats, right? Or like funny moments or like funny comms and stuff. So I doubt he was actually doing like what we would do here in terms of actually breaking things down. What's up, Oopsie Daisy? I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing okay. So I doubt it was like a serious actual analytical breakdown. Teo's release. Oh, Chamber Vice. Chamber Vice. All right, let's see. Let's pull up some VODs here. The Meteor stream clip sounds like someone's fan. Well, I thought about how to translate it as well. I mean, I guess it does end kind of funny even in Korean, but but when he shows the clip, like, because Meteor's talking over the video, so like it doesn't seem as out of left field. Oh yeah, someone was asking me what are my preds. Someone's asking me again now. I think we had just questions about preds across the board, right? Sen versus yeah, I wanted to watch Sen versus Loud. Preds, honestly, I'm torn. Like every day I'm thinking about DRX versus T1, and I don't know who to vote for. But if we want to huff the hopium a little bit from Meteor's stream, like if they're gonna look better, they could look good against DRX. But dude, Freeing is so cracked. Freeing's so cracked, and I think there's a good chance the T1 match is where Hyunmin gets to pop off. Because until now, I don't think he's really needed to be like in multiple pop-off situations. Oh no, you don't have to be sorry. So a couple of people were asking earlier, and I didn't have a chance to answer. So I don't know. My Nongshim Hopium doomed me out. It's perfect pick'ems until the Paper X loss. Oh really? No, yeah, Nongshim, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the reason I thought RRQ could beat Nongshim basically bit Nongshim in the end, even against Talon. It's just that Nongshim could power through it against RRQ, and RRQ wasn't as prepped, whereas I think Talon came very prepped to expose their weaknesses, and Nongshim, the map pool and the comp diff, you know, they just weren't able to change enough in time. And I think Nongshim will be fine for stage 1. I think they'll look better, but I think my diagnosis that they just aren't adapting as fast as I thought they would was true. I just think that's it. And Kilios did you dirty. Oh, with yeah, the with yeah, I can't believe he showed that clip. DRX is better. I mean, I think DRX looks better for sure. I think DRX looks. I mean, I agree. Like, I was on board with Sideshow's crazy rankings a little bit in that I think I agree that DRX looks the best so far. It's just that at that point they had only played one match, right, against Nongshim, and while we all thought Nongshim was good, it's hard to tell. But I don't know. I don't think. I think T1. I mean, for one, I think Meteors still clears. So like pretty hard. And if that can assist Stax's calling a lot, as I think it did against Paper Rex, then yeah. But I think DRX should win. I'm also just a big fan of Buzz, so it's kind of hard. I'm not doubting. I'm torn. I'm torn between T1 and DRX. But I think on paper, DRX should be the favored ones. Let's put it that way. I think DRX should be the favored one. What did Plat Chat pick? I didn't get to watch their pick'ems. What did those guys pick? I actually was watching to see what their pick'ems would look like, and then I had to hop off. All right, let's pause the music. Let's bring up the VODs. Whoa. Am I allowed to cover the sponsors during VOD review? I'm probably allowed, but probably not recommended. Let me change the chat location real quick, chat. My chat was 75-25. Paperthin went T1. Paperthin went T1. Paperthin went T1? I'm a little surprised by that. Although I guess if someone was going to do it, I guess it was going to be Paperthin, now that I think about it. I wonder why that is. Oh, because his ISP is SKT. I actually use SKT. I do agree. Well, I don't know. I've had KT issues with KT before. So I don't know if Achilles' statement is necessarily true. But yeah, I mean, DRX T1. I think DRX should be the ones that are favored, but I don't know if you can really fault anyone for picking T1. Okay, when everyone says they want Benkai back in as an assistant coach, are we like talking out of any proof, or is it just like Benkai used to be with the team, so that makes sense? I'm not trying to argue otherwise. It's just, it seems odd to me that everyone wants Benkai as an assistant coach when we don't actually know if that'd be good. You know what I mean? That's like if in last year, if people were like, Carpe should be an assistant coach, I would have been like, I like Carpe. He's obviously he's got a crazy career, but like, I don't know if he'd be a good assistant coach in Valorant. I mean, that sounds kind of crazy to me. The EDG effect. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, also just like, yeah, do we even know if Benkai would want that? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed kind of out of left field.
because yeah, they come into this match and they're 4-0. It is time for the Samsung match start. Load up fast. Excuse me. That
Lotus fast.
into map 1 is going to be Lotus Loud on the.
He was good at IGLing his co-streams when he was a sub. He did use to talk a little bit about why. I mean, yeah, but that's my point, is that it's the same thing. Like, it's the same argument with, you could say the same thing about Autumn. He could cook, you can cook up all the comps all you want. M4 can submit 100-page of analysis all he wants, but whether he'd be an actual good coach or not is a totally different question. You know what I mean? I think, and then the dynamic with Alex and the rest of the players in a coaching position, like, I just think there's a lot more to it. It's just, it is funny to me that, I mean, I get that there, you know, who else are you going to name as a candidate? Probably nobody, unless you're really deep in the know in the coaching scene. So, like, I get that, but it just seems weird to me that people are latching on to Benkai when I think the discussion should be more, an assistant coach could help, you know? And like, well, who's out there? And then you could be like, I don't know. I mean, I wonder if Benkai is interested. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, they should get Benkai as a coach. And I'm like, whoa, like, we don't even, does anybody, like, do they even want, like, you know what I mean? We don't even know if they themselves want that. So, like, I'm not even talking about their relations and stuff, but I just think it seemed like a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, 4 years ago, you had Vinny, Pancata, DGZine on the same team. It's crazy to see them back together now.
They need Sliggy. So Sen versus Loud. All 3 maps are close, yeah? Dude, what happened in the crew match, actually? Because I was hoping to still have Loud in the top 4.
There's a lot of threat here, close by. Just in the vicinity. Again, DG having to take a quick step back. Sentinel starting to flood out onto the site. But they're going to find out that it's vacant. There's no one there. The Spike and the rest of Loud are going B.
I'm already so impressed with how Loud have approached this, baiting out so much utility from Sentinels, finessing their way into this B site, and now getting aggressive positioning in the post plan.
Benkai's a good start. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just, I'm just saying that it's just in, like, whether it's on Reddit or wherever, like even social media, just everyone being like, you should get Benkai as, like, and this could just be a result of my faith in humanity dwindling, because now everyone just talks conclusively about everything, and I really, really hate it, and I hate the internet. But it could just be that, but I just think it's a weird discussion to be having, instead of like, I wonder if Benkai would be interested, or I wonder if Benkai could work. You know, it's more, I see statements of, they should get Benkai, and I'm like, well, should is a very strong word here. I had to complain about Pacific Lotus. Teams are really so scared to fight Rubble. You know, it's very funny to me. Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. Like, not that you have to have an all-out brawl at the, you know, the moment the barriers drop every time, but if you're not going to use util to match util, like, you got to re-clear at some point, you know what I mean? And then the times they do focus on A, there's like no pressure on C. It's just very, I don't know. I thought we had started to figure this out last year. I thought Genji had shown everyone how to figure it out last year. NT on the paranoia. Although, wouldn't it be better to send it far out? What happened was crew got rid of their jet lag and their aim got so crisp. Is that really just what it was? Was it just like, oh, crew's aim is back, and now they're just playing?
They're not afraid. Yeah, it's stacked, but
only my opinion is correct.
Tries to do what he can there, takes out Vinny, but DGZine will get that spike planted at the end of the round on top of that kill, making him even closer to that.
Honestly, most of the Pacific teams on Lotus have been frustrating for me too.
This belabored attempt at controlling C.
And I actually, which...
It was a good read from
Yeah, I don't know.
Just the firepower is just not quite there. Loud, they need to be careful in future rounds.
Yeah, Zelsis was rocking the G Classic. I don't know what that's about.
When they have the weaponry behind them and maybe even more utility, it's going to be disastrous for Loud.
Yeah, that spells danger.
Yeah, I don't know if it has to do with Vice and people thinking things were just going to be different with Vice. Or, well, I mean, in some ways, like, I get, okay, if you want to focus on figuring out where the wall is and tripping the wall early, like, that's fine. But like, do something with A at some point, you know, early on in the half. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like Rubble is still going to be the most important part of the map.
Yes, but Doug, this is where Sentinels shine. Retaking with this composition. We saw
Teams should start looking more and more into analysts. Oh, I mean, listen, ideally, I think every team should have, at minimum, a 4-person coaching staff, I guess. Ideally, right? A performance coach, a head coach, another coach, and then like a data analyst. Right? That basically feeds you research. But that's a lot. It is a lot. I am interested in Sean's Tejo as well. Speaking of Tejo, I do agree that individually, I think Freeing might be the best Tejo we've seen. Individually. Not necessarily on a team level. Vice or Killjoy on Lotus? I would go Vice any day of the week. Doesn't Zeta have like a million? Zeta does. Not all coaches are built the same. Mini as head coach for Paper Rex. What did Alex ever do to you, man? Why do you have to kick him out? Oof. Dude, DG's Zen's been popping off at the start of this year. Well,
oh, and he gets out alive. Barely. A little bit of a freeze to the round. A 1-for-1.
It might be our TMV with Ospas for 2025.
Dan got deleted.
Yeah, I take that any day of the week.
And again, more proactive.
We barely scratched the surface. Oh, I mean, I agree.
But I feel like Sentinels
I agree. But the hell? Was that just a...
So more proactive. We understand how good Sen is on this retake. But I feel like Sentinels are also waiting for something like this. And what is that? Clean out. But I feel like Sentinels
What would he have done that off of? I don't think he sees him here, does he? Maybe he caught sight of him. Oh, it might have just been because they send the drone out, so they think there might be a reaction.
Clean out from Narrate. He gets a second. Seconds pop the ult. He's gone exploring. Full info.
Dude, drone on one side, Yoru on the other. And, I mean, even if Zekin doesn't get the kill, it's just so much time bought. They all have to leave the site.
Just absolutely smothered. Sentinels destroying.
I agree that Tejo probably has much more to show. But again, like, I think at a purely individual aspect, Freeing seems to have showcased the most, like, comfort. Like, even his, like, on-the-fly stuff is just, like, really, really good. Yeah, no, I feel like that had to have been just intuition off of their drone getting sent out, which is really good.
What a heads-up play. So smart, so aware. And that's just their own. And Zekin, he's sitting on that outlaw. There's a lot of light armor on the side of Loud.
So they're using double salvos to make sure nobody crosses, and then paranoia open door, so you can open door safely. Are they doing anything else? Are they investing anything? Are they investing fault line?
He's sitting on that outlaw. There's a lot
No, they're just standing by.
on the side of Loud and no armor. Yeah, this outlaw is going to do some damage, man.
Oh, hey, we haven't seen Loud really have to approach around from this position where they're down.
Yeah, I mean, I think there have been other teams that have shown really good, like, team usage and set plays and, you know, executes and stuff with Tejo. But Yeah, I think individual util usage. I think I've been the most impressed by freeing, but we'll see. I don't know. I thought Simon's was pretty good too. But I think all the people that were like the best in their region so far, like they all are in the running for best Tejo so far for sure. I don't think any of them are like significantly worse per se. It's just depending on what you rate higher. I think there's an argument for freeing being the best so far. And then the others generally, I think, are in a more similar vein and style, but
looking to sink it into the site. Just on the other side here, this is big from Bang. Yeah, Kawanzine, that would have had to have been a ridiculous shot.
An off angle from hell.
Back this flood from Sentinels.
dude, drone. Basically, also what I'm seeing is that now we're just back to double drone. Everything, whether it's Yoru, whether it's Prowler, whether it's Trailblazer, whether it's Silva. That really does seem like, even in my head, I thought, you know, Tejo, like KO could be good on a lot of maps and stuff like that, but I think just double drone is just too strong for different executes.
I mean, this fault line is going to be decent. A lot of players are going to get lined up in this.
Vinny's one off ult. He's got the ult now. He's going to be able to pop it off the tap. There it goes.
But it misses one.
All thrown into the sky. He's able to get another one. Is there going to be enough time?
I actually think Challengers Korea started today too, no? Oh, maybe no, it starts tomorrow, I think. I don't know if I'll live watch Party Korea again this year. Think about it.
Almost a perfect investment from Loud. That breach ultimate hits everybody but
My peak hope is Harbor Tejo Yoru. Harbor for safe cove for Yoru TP, Salvos to clear some angles. There's some ideas there for sure. DRX only uses Tejo Breach on Fracture, right? They've used Solo Tejo on the rest, right? They've used Tejo KO, or Tejo Sova on the rest, I believe. Yeah.
That's still down to the wire though, right?
Oh, I guess it was Solo Tejo on Bind, though.
Another retake. 3 for 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it has any... I don't think KO Tejo is bad, but it's just like, anytime there's double drone... Wait, did DRX play KO on Bind?
This time too, he's sitting far back. Doesn't want to get first blooded walking out of that choke. Understands the firepower of what's behind it.
They did.
Tap of the door to try to bait some rotations.
Yeah, I guess Bind... I mean, I could see Sova on Bind as well, to be honest, but... I'm okay with the KO there.
Have a lot of room to work here. They have to be able to alleviate some of this pressure.
Info in any TAC FPS is good. More news at 8.
Back over here. We've seen how deadly the setup can be. This Yoru flash.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing... I mean, even last year, I think we saw a lot of great support breaches.
40 seconds left in the round, though.
Breach strong too. And maybe it's just a matter of preference, right? Maybe it's just a matter of preference, but I think the double drone, like, even if you don't use them at the same time, is like the most suffocating, if that makes sense. It's also the more versatile than Breach Tejo.
There's already a breach here, Nere, to set up.
If they're going to try to scale again, that's been the key to success. That hit a couple of them, but not all in the smoke. It's not safe. 10 seconds left.
Damn, the push out.
Spike successfully getting planted. Now the game
Whoa, whoa. Oh, it's getting messy out here.
A messy spot to be in. Narrate.
If you want to review challenges, SEA, the official account for Malaysia, Singapore. Oh, to YouTube? Yeah, then, you know, without the hassle of having to credit soup every time, that could work. Yeah, I might be more interested in VOD reviewing SEA this year. I'm not so sure. What's up, Denji?
And that's a difference maker. Yeah.
That is, and yeah, the Vice Ultimate's invested as well. That was a big commitment from Sentinels on this retake. And for Loud to just rip that one away.
Jeez. Tac pause. Oh, we're back.
Quick fix, audio issue rectified. And now we can get back to the fun stuff. Tied at 3 apiece. If you've just joined us, it's been a story of retakes, success on the side of Sentinels, but
It's the same thing every time, but they waited this time for the paranoia. Good read.
Looks like they want to do a bit of a trap setup here from the side of Sentinels. You have that Omen flash.
Oh, with the ult? Okay.
And there's that Armageddon.
Oh, that's... Oh, that is...
And there's the trap setup here from the side of Sentinels.
So it's not just a read, they just wanted this set up. Fault line is used where?
Looks like they want to do
Okay, so uses fault line to clear this area first.
a bit of a trap setup here from the side of Sentinels.
And then ult paranoia, but this is smoked off.
You have that Omen flash in the door by Bang.
And they purposely hide away in case there's someone who's pushing. And then they wait for the paranoia to go out to peek out, because their main job would be to help trade this or this. But he's mostly protected from the door at first. And he knows his paranoia would have hit, or they're in the ult anyway. Damn. That's a nasty trap on Rubble. You have the same opinion on the Zek and Yoru as the Demon One race? Wait, really? Fate Teo could be great in some maps, solid info, then Teo stun with Dawn. Yeah, I mean, I would count Prowlers as a type of drone. Even though you don't get vision, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the final week. We'll be watching EMEA and America's grand finals at least. So the two teams that are going to Bangkok. I'll be co-streaming those. Maybe lower finals for one of them as well. I can't remember, but I'll double check.
I mean, if he could snag a couple kills on his way out, why not? But the economy is not looking good for Loud. Sentinels have full reset them once again. I mean, these are so competitive, but because you often
Timeout. All right, let's see what they fix.
They just sound hungry for a win.
They got ults. You got your ult on the other side.
Speak of the devil.
Zekken is now the longest tenured Sentinels player. Really? Zekken joined in Oh, I guess so. Yeah. Huh. Time flies, actually. Wow.
49 days. Man. And he's so good, too.
Are you casting any more matches? I'll be casting the lower final, which is kind of hype because that'll be the second team to go and it'll be a best of 5. So I'll be casting on Saturday, but not Friday.
I feel like he's just getting started.
What's up, Trico?
Hey, but he's been this good and he's been getting better every year.
Yeah, all the matches this week should be good, right? I mean, it's the top 4 of the remaining 3 regions.
So after the timeout, looks like
Was flashed. So they'll just trap him in with Razorvines here and then a deeper wall in case it's a full send. Ooh. Good spacing on these vines.
Maybe in the next couple of rounds, deny that orb for future rounds.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye out on that.
So they don't mind giving that space on the orb. They're just going to work off of other info. Oh, they're so blind, though.
Do they know? It hasn't been activated. Nothing has been caught. There's no idea. Now the paranoia out. Second has to take a step back. DG's already
yeah, that's... That seemed a little too respectful from Sen.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye out on that. There's still a lot of utility here. The future. Put a trap play.
The door is good, though, from Loud.
Yeah, definitely. Put a trap play there. Maybe in the next couple of rounds. Deny that orb for future rounds.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye out on that.
Pacific Lotus is CT sided by a large margin at 56%. It's always been defense sided in Pacific. It's really weird. You get to cast Gen GTRX.
Do they know? It hasn't been activated. Nothing has been caught. There's no idea. Now the paranoia out. Second has to take a step back. DG's already backside. He's got the Opaku. He's going to continue to try to scale, and he does. Zelsa's now found the side.
Loud has got here, but it's Loud
Save.
that showstopper. So
Wrecked.
Never been able to pull that main positions at the beginning of the round.
and what a
Good,
better way
good call from Loud.
to time correctly.
It's just so much harder to do on a 3.
It's been T-sided for the most part. Really? In Pacific? I feel like it was heavily defense-sided in 23.
Map site, but you're right. I think the flash
But maybe it's just the matches that were like that stand out to me.
Is that, and then it's going to be a bit of a speed up here.
Oop, oop, still got tagged by that. Still wants one.
a crack in the window, and now they're trying to kick the damn thing down.
Just getting bombed by utility, but that
Dude, Cowanzine going alone over the wall is crazy.
And this is going to force a slowdown for just a bit here. Now, Loud have an option. They can stay. They still have 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the round. They could flip it.
I mean, their trips are all about just holding C-site, so they'll go for it.
Bit of an early investment here.
Oh, Cowanzine
Ooh, huge spray.
as they try to strike on the other
That
side
was a
of the
bit unfortunate from Sen.
Trade from John, but the layered utility from Loud, it's too strong. That follow-up paranoia. There were so many layers to that hold. Loud, they're not falling for that.
No, I know Lotus generally was T-sided. I just thought in Pacific. I swear, dude. I swear we used to joke about it all the time, too. That it's defense-sided in Pacific.
On the CT smoke. I mean, Loud, they came ready to play here today, Doug.
Yeah, I think they
But it could just be that certain matchups where it was like a snowball for the CT side stand out, but then overall it's still T-sided.
If you don't let Sentinels get comfortable and start their retake attempts, start to layer utility, start to flood in with it, if you disrupt that from the beginning...
Oh, maybe less T-sided. Yeah, maybe that's why we felt like it. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why we felt like it was CT-sided for Pacific, just because in relativity. Oof, that's a good replay.
Came down to DG's storm press. Yeah. Fear the takes.
This time out. As Loud try to hang on to a
26 op kills.
Haven't gotten back.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Are they going to stick this TP? C is already crunched.
I mean, Loud is just saying, figure something out for C-site, my guys.
Utility, he's been able to isolate the first DG now dealt with.
A little bit mistimed from Loud.
More to come on the other side again.
A little bit mistimed from Loud.
Stands. Trying to swing out onto the third, not connecting, but damage dealt, time bought.
Vinny, my guy, you got the spike.
Side again. Zelsis versus the world, and so far he stands. Trying to swing out onto the third, not connecting, but damage dealt, time bought. Vinny on the swing, and now John has arrived. And was once a youngster. Moment of so much heart.
Zelsis to step up for his team in a moment where he was just getting
Paperwork's massively skewed the results.
all the way behind him, and to isolate these 1v1s and give his team a chance into getting there, getting the rotate in and making a retake. I mean, for a Sentinels round win right there, Doug.
Getting the 2 that he got was outrageous enough.
Yeah,
to
it's
almost
insane.
get 3 is ridiculous.
This cat. Why is it getting popular
Once
again?
we're tied light armor on a couple of members on both sides.
And so far, both timeouts.
And now they want to go A.
Very well done from each team. Sentinels winning off of their timeout.
But Sentinels won the round. So Sentinels,
A-trap here for
they're really just reacting to this. This time it's just a hard setup with the fault line.
Cyphercam as well.
No paranoia.
But they've got to suspect somebody's here, right?
Oh,
Surely.
huge flash.
Narrate falls.
Wait, Zekin, where'd you go?
But they've got to suspect somebody's here, right? Surely DG can't see a damn thing.
And he just, as soon as Narrate wasn't winning that fight, Zekin said, I'm out of here.
Narrate falls. Are they expecting John here? He's found the tiniest sliver.
Ooh, do they reckon? Oh, well,
Now has to give the position
they don't
up.
take
There's
their
no run from
chances.
that.
C-site is open, but everything was seen.
Chat, you know, I think there's a chance Genji go. I think there's a.
Information, though.
If Genji beats Talon, I think Genji goes to Bangkok.
That's smoke and mirrors.
I do.
How much do they
If
bite on?
Talon beats Genji,
Load of noise, see.
They're not falling for it.
I don't
Minimap right now. 3 members towards the
see
A side.
them beating
Best chance Sentinels
DRX.
have being down a man.
I think the player errors will just be too big. Those players, man. Like, I like them, and they're at their peak, they're good, but their consistency is just all over the place.
They swung things back in their favor.
Oh my goodness.
This was a 5 seconds pushing forward, spotting one member.
So Zekin is, oh dude, how is Zekin staying alive here?
Happy feet.
Lives to fight and not connected
Where was
yet.
John QT watching? Oh,
Survives.
Happy feet.
oh, Loud's playing scared.
Tui's not nearly as fortunate.
Oh, they are playing scared. That's good salvos too.
They swung things back in their favor.
Oh my goodness.
This was a 5v4 that they have snatched back.
Loud have crumbled in this round.
He said all cats. Wait, what? No, I don't hate cats. I am allergic to some cats though.
Comes in a really good spot. Celsius weak. One down.
No Lockio Valorant, no international. I don't know.
Off the swing. He's not able to draw the gun quickly
I
enough.
think Gen G might make it if they beat Talon.
Still more work to be done. Remember, Zekin is so weak. But it's not enough. Another defuse comes through, and again, another lead change.
I would like for Talon to make it because it's in Bangkok, but I don't know.
The IGL v IGL John.
But if Gen G beats Talon, I think, oh man,
That looked like Loud were just in control of from the
yeah. Honestly, I'd be very curious for a Gen G DRX rematch.
He almost gave Kaplan a heart attack, but
You know,
they
honestly,
turned it around. It was a phenomenal.
Just because I'd be curious if Gen G like has figured it out.
just when you think you have something figured out,
If it's T1
wrinkle is thrown into the ploy.
that falls, then
And this time,
I think Gen G
it's Valentine
wins.
with an Ares.
Get some good damage as well.
I don't know.
Second sitting at 60 HP, but
It's not even purely like about strats or what they've been playing. It's just a gut feeling, obviously based on how they've been playing. But
it is going to be a B execute here from Loud. A lot of members here from the side of Sentinels. Those satchels.
is it a hot take to think Talon takes out Gen G? No, I think Talon's fully capable of taking out Gen G. It just comes down to player error, really. I think.
A deep trip.
I don't think Gen G's that hard to figure out right now.
Vinny will be 2 away from his ult here.
To be fair, Gen G's fundamental setups were not the hardest to figure out last year either, but their fundamental setup was set up in a way that allowed them to be very mobile and flexible. And because of the combo of Munch and Meteor Lakia,
Gets a kill.
they were very good at that. Where did that flash come from?
He's got to get some of this space.
Oh, the
up.
Euro?
Might be a bait.
You are flirting with fire, son.
Oh,
Fully flashed, still gets a kill. Now dropped. There's that trip that we were just talking about. Picado and Tui is
That's a big trip. Oh.
Snaps onto John, snaps onto Bang, and again.
So I don't think the prep will necessarily be a big problem for Talon, but it's player error that's potentially the problem.
The top of the scoreboard, closing out the half for his team, making it even 6-6.
Everyone in Talon needs to step up.
Highly contested battle between these two. And
Yeah.
mentioned it, yeah, it's loud
I mean,
pick and
yeah,
we can have
well,
that
but I
conversation.
don't even mean it as in like everybody's got to play at their peak. I think as long as
And that's just made for
Talon's
the
not,
half of Valorant. I'm not gonna lie to you.
as Frost puts it, throwing,
Thing is, there's
I think they should be able to prep to beat Gen G. I don't think it's like a Talon needs to play at their best to win against Gen G. I don't think they need to play at their best. I just think they have to make sure they don't play at their worst. But they very frequently play at their worst. So
I want to get your thoughts on this comp. We've seen it on the defense for Sentinels, but this Vice, Tejo, Breach, Yoru, what are you looking for? What are you expecting?
So many options available for this attacking side.
I just hope Bangkok gets to make them more pressured. Ah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Crazy stuns or tether nades that can
Is
happen.
DRX favored versus T1?
They're already trying to
I would rate them higher
side default.
currently.
Everybody else just
I would.
It's interesting. John dropped his missiles right outside of B main at the very beginning of the round, and they're still looking at it. Almost convinced that there would be a swing there.
I would put DRX higher.
3 members were geared up towards
B main at
a lot of this crazy stuns or tether nade.
Where did that second one go?
Infinite utility that you have.
Right.
So I'm expecting a lot of that. That's the power in the Yoru. You can TP
Oh,
out of a lot of
C.
these stuns or
Take out the tripwire.
Zekin already trying to dance with fire over here towards that A side default. And everybody else just holding.
If Talon and T1 make it, it'll be the ultimate lulls. It would be kind. I mean, it'd be just complete new slate. I mean, that would be exciting in its own right for sure.
Rightfully so.
I would love to see Talon there, but it's so hard to pick who they would take. You know, who they would go instead.
Is gathered by John. Already putting an emphasis on that Teo ultimate.
But I think Talon and whoever would be good stories regardless. I mean, whoever goes, the top 4 right now have really good stories for Pacific, right? DRX not making it to any Masters last year. You know, Termi builds new squad. Mako as an IGL, Redemption, yada yada yada. You know, got their revenge against Shinji. Maybe they get it again if it's a rematch. Then T1 would be, you know, Korean super team. Stacks and Buzz not getting to go to the Masters. You know, proving that they needed a new system. Autumn, trust the, you know, trust the process. Stuff like that. Meteor returning to the international stage. That'd be 4 consecutive for Meteor. And then Gen G, I mean, especially because of how things started in kickoff, would be okay. Gen G, like lower bracket Gen G is back. You know, they're slowly figuring things out. Could be a rerun of last year. Kind of maintaining their status as the top of Pacific. And then Talon, obviously, kind of an upset, but like more than anything, going to Bangkok as the Thai team.
The best is second, still plenty of work to be done though. 2 classics on the other side, but light armor. It's not planted for them. Vinny, he's gotten it to half. He's got
T1 will be money spent equals win. Only suited up, dripped out Termi to internationals. No casual. No casual nonsense.
They understood that breach fault line in CT, it's too loud on that flank. They understood that breach fault line in CT, it's very strong on that flank. They understood that.
The off the rip on the door is interesting.
Very strong. They have to be the breach fault line in CT, it's very strong.
On their eco as well.
A Marshall for second here in the second round of the half.
And a fast approach out A as well. Testing the water.
Chat, it's like it's today. It supposedly feels like it's negative 20 degrees. It's crazy.
Certainly, and he gets to just prod in here. Cam will be tapped maybe after some sound is made. Zekin's just messing around over here with the Marshall. Gets the orb for free.
I mean, he's got people watching for him. Cam spotted.
Caught in 4K.
Removal of the dart, though. I think for Sentinels, they haven't invested a ton on this side.
And this is something that Zelsis is so good at doing. When contact
is
made on one side of the
I mean, it's a Baby points it out at the right timing.
And he just weasels his way in, Doug.
Are they going to take the bait?
Even if he doesn't get in, right? He's got the ghost. He moves immediately as they get contact. And now he knows, okay, it's a surround, so it's weak run A.
All good. You still have the numbers advantage.
Yep, all good. Should be all good. Something has to go drastically wrong for this to not be all good.
Good delay though.
13 seconds left.
Oh no. Oh, that paint shells was actually kind of nasty.
Succeeding, but it's gone down to a 3v3. This is already on way too
Ooh,
messy.
early stun just to delay.
DG has a sheriff. Oh, 2 members are 1 shot. No.
Yeah, the low health is kind of concerning.
Can they turn this into magic?
Well, maybe not.
Does not seem to be the case unless Pancata can do it on his own. And the no-scope from
Is the RQ jersey ever going to be put back up? What RQ jersey? What are you talking about? I mean, I'll probably put it back up for RQ matches in stage 1 chat. I still like RQ. I just had to go full Nongshim glazing, but then that only lasted for 1 extra match. If it's a Talon T1 lower finals and Talon win, the Meteor crash out will be generational. Dude, if it's Talon T1 lower finals and Talon wins, I hadn't considered that. I guess that's what it would take if it's DRX Talon. Oh man, that would actually be, it'd be huge for Talon and the Thai fans though. Oh, what the? What? Dude, straight up aim labs.
Absolutely. We'll be fire with fire here.
Yeah, a bit of a scrappy start.
Dude, he fought 4 people.
DG lights him up.
Fire with fire here.
Yeah, a bit of a scrappy start towards A from both sides. And
What the hell?
That's 3 on the round for him. Sides and DG light.
Dude, this double kill is insane.
Bit of a scrappy start towards A from both
It's so satisfying.
lights him up. That's 3 on the round for him.
Oh, it's really loud.
Wanted more.
Yeah, we're getting warnings for black ice and cold weather.
Worse for Warrior, 21 HP. And Sentinels find themselves in a bit of a mess. Bang is weak.
You have 2 of the most clutch players on the Sentinels roster. With 1 minute.
It was 42. Yeah, so
they wanna do.
Pilsky was showing me that it's like really cold or really hot back home. I didn't realize it got so hot in parts of Australia. Like, I know it's summer, but like 40 degrees is...
Playing things as quietly as he can.
Don't you just die if you walk outside?
Try to get this back to equal footing. Yeah, they've gotten the spike down.
Does everyone get a day off from work? Like, how does that work? 40 degrees is insane.
He second guesses himself.
Although I guess Southeast Asia gets really hot all the time too. Was it 40 degrees hot in Southeast Asia too though?
But Bang and Zelsis, they're so clutch.
Big from Celsius. He's not going to get challenged again. The spike has been ticking for a long time. They've got to accelerate here.
This 1v1 is what it comes down to right here.
That's 1 found. Bank's got to get this kill. He's able to get 1. Those are a couple more on the other side. Common team will swing and clean him up. And now the defuse.
Yeah, it seemed very scary, but I guess
Yeah, I mean 30 is like Korea got up to 37 I think last summer.
Against Zelsis.
It was like hottest summer in 30 years or something.
What made the difference there? Because yeah, with that time,
Peak 40 degrees in India. Really? Dude, this is...
listen, Doug, there's a lot of questions from everybody, Doug. A lot of questions.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, forget an agent 1 trick. Forget about a jet. Is he an op 1 trick?
I had classes canceled a week because of how cold it was. Oh.
That 3K, it was snappy, man.
Yeah, my high school used to have days canceled because of cold instead of the snow. Because kids who lived too close to the school wouldn't, you couldn't ride the bus. Oh, wrong weapon. Because if you're in a certain radius of the school, there's no bus routes for you. But then they'd have to walk if their parents can't take them to school. And then if it's too cold, it's like, well, this isn't good.
Also a Cypher Cam here as well. Sentinels, they're gonna have to just disrespect this. They have to just.
Oh, Australia's dry heat.
The more time Pancata is allowed to flank.
That I didn't know either. Never been. We considered going to Australia for our honeymoon because we were both interested. But when my wife learned that there's all sorts of bugs and wild animals in Australia, she was like, maybe not so much for the honeymoon. And B, we just decided against like going to cities and stuff and like touring and that. We just figured for the honeymoon, let's just go to a resort and just chill. Oh, well, goodbye. Oh, what? What? There's no way. There is no way. Dude was abandoned, man.
Looking for a target, looking for a scalp to claim.
Wait, what is he even flashed by? Oh my gosh, do they get team flashed? What are you even flashed by? I don't understand. Oh no, it's not a flash. It's just the hedge. Wait, no, it is a flash. It is a team flash.
Solo on site, a great paranoia on the top of the door.
Oh, Zeus' team flash. I mean, it should have just been a half flash, but either way. Wait. No. Dude.
Target looking for a scalp to claim. Oh.
Why does John turn towards the flash? Wait. You guys see this? He's watching door?
Claim.
And then he literally turns. Yo, Gene Koff with the Prime sub. Thank you. Thanks for using your Prime sub on the channel. Welcome, welcome. It might have just been an instinct. I don't know. That's funny as hell, though. But either way, still, dude, Kawanzin is trapped in there with the enemy. And, oh my god.
Oh, it's a mess.
That's crazy. Kawanzin, that's good. That's good. Dude, I love watching Kawanzin play. I think Kawanzin is gonna... I think he's going to be part of a core that lifts another international trophy. Like, this guy is... He's talented, man.
Was it the Vice Flash that blinded everybody?
Not sure.
I gotta play that back. I just missed it. It all happened so fast. This was the entry into the round, but... It's madness. I mean, look at John QT. He got Team Flash right there. So
I say another trophy, but I guess it would be the first one for him. They were close. We're locking. Oh, dude. Kaplan mad. Who do you think is going to make it to Bangkok from Americas? Who did I think, or who do I think? Right now? Out of the remaining? Let's see. Send G2 MIBR crew. Oh, that's tough. Honestly, I'd have to watch the rest of this match, but I don't... I mean, G2, for sure. But, like, I could see MIBR and crew clapping back if Sen falls, which, in theory, they should. Kawanzin is one of the best info initiatives in the world. Absolutely, I would hard agree. Hard agree.
Onto the C mound area, that deep trip right on the ground. Tui's gets a free spam, but the follow-up, Doug, from Kawanzin, that fade eye, that is insane.
G2 Sen, you think Sen still bounces back? I feel like Sen still have...
You can't do anything about that if you're Sen.
It really, like, even just on this Lotus map, it does feel like they still have enough player error that a heated up MIBR or crew could take him out. I haven't watched much of crew. Did I watch any crew games actually? Maybe not.
But they have not broken yet. So if there is to be a knockout blow on Loud, where does it come from? Is it the
for EMEA Team League? Dude, there's no way, man.
I mean, this is a tough map to op on as well, so we might not.
No, there's no way. I think EMEA is just gonna be Vitality Heretics, guys. There's no way. It is kind of crazy that Liquid.
Another change of a trip here.
This is 5 Stingers. I mean, they're wanting to get up close and personal. They're wanting to get past all this utility and try to take the fight to their doorstep.
It's just disgusting. These Cypher trips are dismantling.
TMV said he'd oil Team Liquid win bang.
That Stinger's just not connecting. And again, Sentinels are in a spot where they're fully surrounded. You got 2
G2 for sure. Throw the other teams in a hat and pick one out randomly.
Oh man, I mean,
yeah, I mean, Sen I doesn't like. They have a couple cool ideas. They have a couple cool ideas. They're utilizing the Tejo and the Vice. So I mean, Sen kind of feels like a perhaps more consistent Talon, if that makes sense. Or actually, no. Maybe a better way to put it is Sen looks like a RRQ with better understanding in Pacific terms, if that makes sense, right? But there's like still player error. Like even this match, honestly, I'm more impressed by Loud so far on Lotus than I am with Sen. Granted, heroics from Loud as well, but the heroics given over are because of the errors from Sen. You know what I mean? Like I feel like on paper Sen should have been ahead here. I mean, when DG's in like 1v4s, I guess you can't do much about it, but
they're playing the odds. Okay, you stuffed us there twice. Surely not a third time. There's that Yoru clone this time, baiting out the Cypher trip. So, being a little bit more methodical on the entry is sensible.
Fast rotate, fast flank.
If
They have two ults.
From C, they have the tools to do it, Dre. They have Narrate's ult. They have John's ult too.
This breach ult could be very juicy for Narrate.
Do they know they're there?
Narrate can't die. Yep, that's the... Well, I don't know about doubling up on that.
Vinny's the first claim. The paranoia not connecting, but
Wait,
the smoke.
what the...
Tap of the door, though.
There it is. Rolling Thunder invested.
Oh, he just loses the fight.
Vinny's the first claim. The paranoia not connecting, but the smoke to provide a little bit of cover. They got to try to flood out. DG plucked from the sky.
Also, that fake...
To provide whole used. Vinny's the first claim. The paranoia not connecting, but the smoke.
That fake TP is just not...
Provide a little bit of cover. They got to try to flood out.
Your teammates are already... That was almost worse.
Right now, if you're Loud, you go for every exit you possibly
Hey, JDG.
And now 2E's has been dealt with from defender spawn.
Yeah. If there was a Tejo utility kill counter, I think
Sen distinctly look like an early season team. G2 Crew, Vitality Heretics, EDG look like... Yeah, who put it that way? Was it TMV who said that yesterday? But I think that's a great way to put it, right? And I think that's a great way to put it because... in some ways, I think like Sen and like RRQ and Talon and we'll put T1 in there, I guess. Maybe Gen G as well. Like these are how you would expect the good teams to look like in kickoff. But now we just have these teams that already look like they're just ahead of the game, which is really promising for those teams, because if they can actually just keep that up the whole time because of the map changes, etc., that are going to come through this year, those teams, it's probably going to be hard for any team to really catch up.
On a map that has had 6 lead changes.
Heretics, I would wait, but also obviously, I guess it depends on how much you count their illness.
This is a very aggressive angle. And there's a breach to follow it up.
Yeah, EDG is also a little funny to tell just because of like EDG in China versus EDG internationally is such a different beast.
Pancada, he does slip a little bit ahead of the mound area. He's got to be careful here though.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive position, but it's Omen. That's why.
Tough spot to be in.
Yeah, you got to get out now.
Yeah, they're so diligent in their approach, man.
Breaks the drone.
Maybe you don't clear that, he gets one.
Kalanzine is so good. That's huge. That's the flank gone as well. Wow.
And now they can turn their attention towards C. The spam not connecting. 10 HP for the controller as he TPs onto the site. Vinny has his ult. How are you going to retake with an op in the hands of DG, though?
I don't know, you got to swap it out.
Dude, Munchkin's retake with the op.
They really did not have a chance to settle.
A couple days ago? That was sick.
Able to get one under Kalanzine. Narrate on the swing. The spike has been planted, and now
he still has a flash.
There is a question that Loud have to answer. Do they
Just buying time. You love that. Dude, what is that timing from Narrate?
3v2, they continue to big swing out from Narrate. Do they fully commit to this? Do they try to save? The money is not great.
Jeez.
A big swing out from Narrate, traded right
I mean,
back, though.
You're playing numbers, I guess.
3v2,
You have creds.
But the door has been slammed shut. And again,
Do you think Riot has been too aggressive with the changes they brought in for the competitive scene when New Age and a map pull at once? Yeah, I mean, I think
wasn't anybody to follow
new
up
agent
that
and map pull at the same time is it's a little rough, but it sounds like there's always, with the way they want to do map pull changes in the future, it sounds like it's always going to double up with a new agent release at some point, right?
I like the idea from
Because it sounds like map rotation will happen basically like every tournament, but then it'll alternate between new agent and new map. So like if it's just gonna be like that from now on, then it's just gonna be like that. If that's the case, yeah, it's a little aggressive, but if it just stays that way for forever, then I guess that's just the system, and like it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, if it's like consistently like that, I don't have a huge problem with it. But I do think it makes it a headache for them to balance, right? But at the same time, I think that's just how Riot balances. Like League, they do that too. They just like change so many things at once. And in my head, that seems like a nightmare to balance, but it is what it is. But I think the egregious point here is that you have two new agents, right? Because Vice wasn't part of the official VCT season ever. So while yes, there was off season, there's roster changes, not every team is playing, etc., etc. So I think two agents and new map rotation is rough.
I mean, that's not going to be anytime soon. You got Celsius, who's one away from his, but other than that, a clean slate for Second and Bang. Yeah. So it will be a bit.
The timing, yeah, the timing is bad. I mean, there's an argument to be had as well on like, do we have this diversity right now because the meta isn't figured out, or is the game currently very well balanced, right? Because if it's just a result of the meta hasn't been figured out, then I think for a lot of purists, it's just not good, because then the chances of us ever seeing a team figure out a meta and play to perfection is really, really low. And like, yeah, if it's consistent, it's fair, but I would agree there that not ever getting to know if, you know, we've ever reached a peak of any meta is that is kind of discouraging to a certain point. Oh, what the? Wait, why did Second what? I guess it was just he was still getting his gun out, I guess.
And looking for more, another lease at life. Meanwhile, Kawanzin make things really uncomfortable for Narrate as he tries to dance around the mound. Finds a kill on a Kawanzin. Vinny on the swing, he will fall.
The Vice, yeah, on attack it hasn't done too much for Sen.
It's not done yet. Only one found. Narrate with 3.
They haven't really been hitting A as hard either, to be fair.
On to Second. He's got it down to 1v1, and Narrate saves the day for Sentinels.
Into the round, he killed 2 by himself on the flank. So much utility being thrown at him, but he was calm, collected. He racked up the headshots. Nice attempt from DJ. A little bit of hype now from
I mean, Valve has had a couple historically bad update timings. Wasn't the R8 Revolver released like during a tournament as well?
They have gotten that's 3 rounds in a row for Sentinels. They've taken the lead back. Now the 7th lead change in this one map.
Yeah, they're just always pressuring it, and then they're just bailing.
It's been a treat to watch if you're not a fan of either team. But it's been nothing but stress and heart attacks for those who are.
And it's been nothing but C-hits for success for Sentinels.
Yep.
If it ain't broke. Again, they will test the waters here.
But this time it makes sense because it's a lower buy, so chances of just fully holding with util and one guy with a great weapon is lower, but they somehow lose this. What the?
They have to buy every single round after this too. You'd imagine how things have gone historically.
Excuse me?
What the hell?
Vinny is a sheriff and Kamaltine is a Bucky. Yep.
Okay, so they know somebody came across the wall. Oh, man. Okay. So because Narrate's watching this, Second's like, well, I'm just going to hide in the smoke. but the dude never peeks out.
You'd imagine how things have gone.
I mean, that's just a mistake.
Historically.
Excuse me? That's one.
Forget what I was saying.
That's two.
That is holy.
3, 4.
Jeez.
Taking this back.
Off of the Bucky, man.
They didn't have the weaponry.
What is this series, Zelsis? He has no chance here.
But honestly, weaponry be damned.
It was a one shot. Yeah. No, the R8 release was so crazy.
One spot left unchecked, and Kawanzin fills the gap.
No, I like the thing is I like Valve's approach to balancing and patching. I do.
Doesn't get more satisfying than that.
I mean, I guess I'm mainly speaking about Dota 2, but I like that. I don't know how Deadlock is now, but I liked it for early Deadlock as well. But their timing wasn't always the greatest. But that's because they just let everybody run tournaments and like. But at the same time, we're not going to care any about your calendars.
That's a weird thing to say, Doug.
Yeah, it is rare for the Bucky to accurately kill at that range, but I guess it got the job done.
Yeah, looks like they were thinking about it at the start of the round. This one is not good for Vinny. Second, what a nice shot, and he's out. So now the defense is spread thin. John QT is able to maneuver, bait out rotations already. DG's in, cheating over towards that A site. Lotus right now for.
Where are the B hops, man? Where are the drone B hops?
Right now for them. Again, they're back C. Second's got to be careful.
Yeah, but if you can get another one here.
There's a lot of threat on the other side. 2 found.
Here's the speed up into C.
Just so happened to be a perfect timing of them kind of rotating around the steps at the same time.
Does a great job.
Celsius is in a good spot.
Kawanzin is so ready for it.
That's the second 1v1 Kawanzin.
You still have a trim.
And so again, the numbers deficit situation.
Oh.
Sentinels, and it just went from bad to worse. Loud knocking on the door of map point. Narrate left in a 1v4. Doesn't even have the spike. He's gonna frag his way through this. He has no choice. Not offered any other opportunity. Just waiting to see if anyone's foolish enough to make a mistake, a slip.
Yeah, but this round, like. Okay, so you get the kill on Rubble, right? And you get spotted in B. But at this point, like, you're just within the next like 20 seconds, you're just stronger no matter where you go. So at this point, you should at minimum have either this space or like this space in the next 20 seconds. But they wait because of the Prowler. I think the Prowler makes them think that there might be a trap player or a push out from B main. So they wait. And then they drone out. And so Zekin wants a bit more info. They even break the cam. And Loud, for whatever reason, off of that cam break, which sees 2, by the way. Sees the Teo and the Omen. And they decide, okay, so I think Loud's decision is basically, okay, there might be a lot C. Yo, Pancata, hang tight. We're going to push out. Which, if that's the case, I think that's good, actually. So they haunt. They spot second. But, like, you're calling for the haunt, which means there's no more Prowlers here. And, like, you saw the Omen go into C-site, so there can't be a trap play here. So, I mean, I guess the showstopper is creeping him out. I think they're just super scared of the showstopper. That's the only, like, they're playing so scared. Why are they playing so scared?
A lot of threat on the other side. 2 found.
Here's the speed up into C. It's all up to Pancata here. What can he
And then they take the time to take the ult orb too. I'm like, you don't have that luxury right now.
As he tries to TP to safety and does.
Great job.
And then the problem comes in that Zelsis calls for the over rotate. So they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't go there. And now we're like, oh, maybe we should go there. And then Zelsis dies, and it's just like,
Shut down Zelsis in.
well, I mean, I think full sending in Zekin like a psycho is because we see the map. But they should have absolutely cleared Mound a lot faster after that early kill. Right? Because... But I think... basically in their head, I think, they're scared of the showstopper. So there's a good chance that off of your contact here, there's a trap play with the showstopper out of C. Okay, fine. And then you even saw the Prowler, so you're like, okay. But then you droned the Omen in. And so now, trap play not as effective. Yeah, it could still be a Paranoia this way and a showstopper. But you can have people watch for that. You can just bait it with one guy. But it just seems like they just wait. They're like so convinced that the showstopper is coming out.
And so again, the numbers deficit situation for Sentinels, and it just went from bad to worse.
No, I mean they should have, but I think it wasn't just them like not doing it. I think there was a reason. It doesn't always mean the reason's correct, but it makes it better. There's a big difference between having a reason and then the team just like not knowing what to do, which also happens a lot.
But it does again not look like that will be the case.
Could just be that DGZin's also just been great this entire tournament, so maybe too much respect given. I don't know. But I'm gonna wager that it's the showstopper that scares him. Which again, like I'm okay with that. But by the time that Zekin dies in spots 2, like you gotta go at that point. Because before it could have still been like a second Prowler plus Paranoia plus showstopper. And again, yeah, if you thought ahead of time, you could still bait that out with one person, but
A bit of an overheat. Overcooking a little too much. And now a double operator, Doug.
And it's good.
classic Chobra saying that a team is too passive whenever he doesn't see Berlin running it down. Did they play this before? That's a great question. Nope. Doesn't seem like it.
Be on opposite sides of the map.
Yeah, I mean, I think they wanted to bait. Yeah, they wanted the showstopper to come out like one side or the other, and then it didn't happen. But then you just didn't adapt fast enough, and then at that point, I think they were just scared because they're like, well, it could happen now, and it's like, well, at that point, I feel like they basically got in their own heads where like, yeah, but it could happen now, and it's like, yeah, just at that point, just make it happen. But easier said than done from outside the server. This one, like, I'm not saying it's like I'm not saying they have an excuse, like a good excuse, but it's better than, oh, they're like not calming together, or oh, this team just like, you know, it's not like it at the very least, because of the way they react to each death afterwards, it tells me that at least they're not just assuming that people would have rotated or not. You know what I mean? Like Zeta does. It's not like they just assumed like, oh, if we wait like 40 seconds, they'll rotate and rotate back. Like that wasn't the play. It's just that they were playing scared, I think.
Wisely takes a step back.
I am less frustrated about that than when Zeta is like, hey, if we don't make any noise, maybe they'll just be like freaking ostriches in their with their heads in their sand and assume we'll have rotated. And it's like, well, that's not how good teams play, but
The spike still hasn't really made its way out. It's been labored. It's been difficult to get through, but they find clarity in the calamity. Things slow down, and now space is theirs to take. DG with the op, a turn of the
clarity in the calamity. That's a good line.
Now stunned again, taken off the line, and third time.
Damn, dude. No wonder this dude has the most op kills in Americas. What the hell? Go any. So okay, so I have to say this. I mean, I guess yeah, but someone was on map point. I don't like showing non-winning team related fans and celebrations off of a win. I think that's bad production. I've felt this way when I was at ESL as well, and I've always argued against it. And it's like there's a time and place to show the vibe of the event, and like we should show that a lot. But you can show that before the match, you can show it during the match. You know what I mean? Or like, for instance, like even if it's not a map win, like let's say someone gets a crazy ace, and then like I don't know, what's a good example? Like let's say someone gets a crazy ace, and then you see someone who's like Tarek, will you marry me? Like it's like, no, like show people, like show a reaction to the 8. Like that was a sick moment. Like we should live in that moment. Like you can show the funny sign afterwards, you know.
In the early rounds, but DG's in warming up a little bit, closing it out.
So I'm not a big fan of that.
On to bang in that last round. Taking out a player like that gives you the confidence to close it out.
Why do they have members? Well, I mean, I assume it's somebody's kid, so that's fine. I think it's adorable. I think that sign is adorable. I just don't think it's the right time and place for it.
It's only been one
You know?
map, but they showed me a lot.
And it's been a long time coming. Like I said, 4 years ago, 3 of these members.
That's like showing when the team loses and the players are upset. Well, no, I think that's fine. What? No, I think that's good. That's part of the drama of a match. You should show players upset and angry. Small thing to nitpick. Oh, I mean, it's a small thing, but it's also like, and I only say this because I've also produced and called the shots, etc. So like I get it, it's not easy, but to me it just tells me that the people working the show don't have their priorities straight, in my opinion. Or at least I don't agree with their priorities. But again, that doesn't mean I don't think those shots should ever be shown. I think they should be, in fact. I think it's important. I agree that it's important. Like, for instance, like, back when I was at ESL, sometimes this discussion would go into people being like, no, but we gotta make the arena feel special, and we have to show, like, why the arena is cool and, like, what there is to do. And I'm like, listen, even you could take out the corpo talk there, and I would still agree. Like, I think you should show the vibe of the arena, why it's exciting to be there, try to get people excited to try to get to the next one. The people in the arena should feel special, and that's how you share the energy. That's how you show the fan base. And then, like, we have, like, you know, whatever, different food stands, whatever. Like, show all of that. Like, I'm all for that. But there's just a time and place for it, you know? And I think and to me, if people show that it's not as bad, but to me it's in the same vein as directors who don't know games cutting away from, like, a 1v1 just ended and the guy's running to the spike and they cut away to show, like, a fan reaction cam full screen with no game picture in picture. Like, even if there's plenty of time left, you should still show it, because you never know what's going to happen, right? And if there's like 20 seconds left, I'm fine with showing it in a little picture-in-picture. But if there's like only, 8 seconds left or like 10 seconds left, just stay on the game, you know? So, like, to me, it's the same. It's in the same category of production error. Errors is a bad word for it, but I guess sins. It's in the same category. It's not as bad, but, and I only say this because I think, though, it sounds like it's a little thing, but those little things add up to so much in production, in how the story is told and what viewers take away from it.
Change this map of Pearl.
Makes a massive difference. It makes a massive difference.
I would venture to say strongest map would be Pearl.
So no offense to the kid. I thought it was adorable, and I think that's great. I think they should have shown it at some point in the broadcast, just not in the winning moment of a very close map.
We'll see if Pearl tells a similar story. Loud on the attacking side, a little bit of a exploratory mission towards the middle of the map and up towards Art. It's not a split though.
Yeah, this already looks like the last pistol they ran on Pearl, and they lost. They got demolished here in Art.
Watch that flash. There it is. DG has to accelerate and still gets a kill on Zelsis. Traded right back though from John as he takes.
Dude, what a freaking! I love, especially in pistol rounds, I love it when there's trades back and forth.
Watch that flash. There it is.
Who loses first? So DGZ wins first. John QT gets Zen. Oh, wait. Tweez cyber cages himself.
There it is. DG has to accelerate and still gets a kill on Zelsis. Traded right back though from John as he takes a step back and takes another with him.
Sen should have.
There it is. DG has to accelerate and still gets a kill on Zelsis. Traded right back though from John as he takes a step back and takes another with him.
I feel like that is in all seriousness, Sen probably should have come out on top on that, but it happened so quick.
Narrate, get some info. But this is a free C site currently. Sentinels, they're gonna have to.
Yeah. I think it was. I don't think it was like a haha. DG Zen's out there. Let me cage myself. I don't think it was that. I think it was a reaction to the flash. But
in the previous pistol on Lotus.
But he wasn't. I thought he had the sight line, but he didn't. Which is why I was confused on why there was no trade immediately on John or Bang, but that would explain why. But they get through it.
Well, I mean, Sentinels have to go slow here. There's no idea on where the other members are, and you know they're outnumbered.
Loud looks better than many teams. I love to see that. Loud was kind of like my dark horse pick, I guess, of Americas. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I had full faith in them from the get-go, but I'm a big Pancata and Kawanzine believer. And DGZ's always been good mechanically. It was just a matter of whether he was like playing with the team or not. But dude, again a 1v3 on the retake pistol. America's just has felt so brand heavy to the point where crowd cheers are classified as disrespectful, and the way production centers is not game centered. Crowd cheers. That studio looks really close to the audience though, so I can see crowd. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the discussion is around crowd cheers being disrespectful, but if it's like during the game, I can kind of see that just because the studio is small. If it's like at the end of the game, then I think that's silly, but
how many times can that speech work though before you just have to play like that from the start?
Do you think Sen forcing Yoru is bad? No. Well, okay. So it's a if the moment you use the word forcing it, it probably is bad. I don't think there's really, except for maybe chamber meta. And even then, if you don't have anyone who's really good with who can, like, if just nobody on the team eventually can learn it, then you probably shouldn't force it anyway, because like a good Reyna will be better than a bad chamber at that point. You know what I mean? No matter how OP they are. So I don't think there's any agent where it's like you have to force them in Valorant. So if they are in fact forcing it, then it's bad. But if you just mean that they're trying to make it work on every map and you're not really seeing it, I don't think the Yoru is a problem. They literally have players high-five the front row before every game. It's so small. Oh yeah, they do that. Team Win 1 doesn't enter with Raze. What's the issue? I don't know. We should call up the coaching staff. LA had more game presence and felt more lively, unlike America's normal games, and the crowd cheers are very minimal unless it's center crew. Huh. With weird fan cam moments that shouldn't be there. Yeah, I mean, America's no, I know exactly what you mean. It's very it's very corpo curated. It is, and up to a certain point, like, you know, it's not all negatives. That's not always all negatives. Obviously, especially like if you can get sponsorships and stuff, that's good. But I think there's a way to balance it. Like, it's just, again, it's just a matter of like timing, right? Like, fan cams can be good. It's just when are you doing them? And like fan cam segments can be good. It's just when are you doing them? And like, not everything has to be on broadcast either. Like, you could do fun little fan cams that are only for the arena, like during breaks and stuff, like for giveaways, and that could be sponsored, right? Like, I mean, I guess it's a lesser sponsor because it's only to the 200 people there or whatever, but
now you expect the acceleration out to rotate, but keep a close eye on the mini map once again, because it's Kalanzine who's going to be looking to do what Pankata could not. And second again is wise to it. So aware.
But yeah, I mean, in a small studio, I think like if someone's like constantly yelling during the game, trying to cheer on their squad, then yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. That's more a you should get a larger studio problem than necessarily the rule being like too clean or whatever. Oh, whoa, he's in, not waiting a little too long on that stun. Surely, Sen wins this round, yeah.
Face of the flash, Vinny on the turn, still healthy enough to fight. 1 kill for 1. And those numbers do not add up when you're down in a situation like Loud were.
Hey, Adelberg, how's it going?
Second is him. All that damage he just did in a main. The pre-fire on the Kalanzine. Kalanzine was a player in the last.
Why doesn't he just do? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he does grind raise like in scrims and stuff. We don't know that.
He gets taken out by a pre-fire.
I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, man, you sound just like you're already determined to be upset about his raise, and I haven't watched all of their games, but from what I've seen and what I've read, I totally see why you're upset, but I couldn't tell you what the fix is, and you know, I'm not gonna sit here and assume he's not putting in the work. Who knows? You know, sometimes maybe the team like wanted him to play it that way. I mean, I find that a little doubtful, but you never know. It's his hair that's holding him back. Okay, now that is a theory we can start to explore together, chat. Is Demon One's hair holding him back? Is it the beard? Is it the beard or the hair though? Which one is it? Maybe it's the beard. Maybe it's weighing down his chin too much. You know?
This is the same look that Sentinel saw in the previous round. Louder showing the exact same thing. And so we'll see if this 3-1-1 default continues for Loud.
Another 50-50. This time a flash.
It's the same look, but this time,
dude, the KO using util to solo pressure A is interesting. Would be fine if he had won the fight, but unfortunately he didn't. Teo Salvo's used there as well.
That's what you want out of your duelist. Meanwhile, Loud now choosing to accelerate and go back towards B. You got DG who's already dashed backside. Patelsis is gone.
Oh, that is. Oh, man. It almost feels like he waits purposely half a second to see if there's two that pop out of the smoke, no? Because he's tracking him, but just not shooting immediately. But either way, just not able to. Oof.
Finds a kill, and it looks free. DG continuing to push up, Phantom in hand, Zekin on the swing, and that's another head claim.
That's rough.
A massive round out from
Demon One just looks uninterested.
Also bang. He didn't even get to play the round. He just gets spammed.
Did Hillman trial for Paper X? I think so. I think that was the rumor. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was ever confirmed or not, but
this time there's gonna be backup in A main. They've had enough of Zekin being here. It's a dash.
And the culture isn't set up, and then there's a small echo chamber studio, and it doesn't have. Yeah, yeah. It probably gets fixed a lot by a bigger studio, I guess. But like for instance, like we had that in the Pacific for a couple ones. Like who was it? Was it Filipino fans last year or the year before? 2 years ago. I think it might have been Team Secret fans, but like they had like a whole song going, but they had like a streamer was there, and then they had like a whole song going, and like Korean fans found it very annoying and disrespectful. You know, but if it was like a giant arena, like you would just be in your own side, like doing that, and they were in their own the studio usually lets you know like these are the quote unquote home seats and these are the quote unquote away seats, but the Pacific Arena is bigger than the Americas Arena for sure in terms of distance, but it's still small enough. It's not a stadium, right? So it doesn't translate very well. And then like the GE people that used to shout GE fighting, like them shouting it between the rounds, like everyone's like, oh yeah, that's funny, but then like shouting it every round, like in between, right until the round starts, people were like, it's getting annoying now because, you know, it's mostly Korean fans. And like I mean the GE one, I actually don't think it crossed any lines. The whole like singing and like clapping to the beat every time from this area while everyone can hear you here, like, and on stage, like that probably, like, someone needed to tell them like, all right, let's like keep it down just a little bit. But I don't know, it's tough when it's a studio, I guess. I don't think any other race is strong enough to be united like that. SPJ did really well, but Boom did more. Boom did way better than expected. Honestly, I thought Dust9 was going to be a big upgrade for them for sure, but not in that sense of like really upgrading the overall team. Boom did really well, but I think Boom. I think the biggest thing Boom will struggle with, which is partly just experience as well, is that I think their prep will be good. Like, they've proven that their prep can be good, and they've proven that if they lock in, like, their aim can be mostly good too. I think they need a little bit more consistency in terms of aim across the board. But the biggest thing will just be adapting week to week. I think that'll be the tough part. Because, you know, say what you will about, you know, Frost, but I think he's entirely correct when he says, like, everybody loves anteing in Pacific, so you gotta, like, really be on your toes. And I think that, like, Boom is either the one anteing super hard or they're not, but now most teams in Pacific are used to that, so I don't know if Boom will adapt fast enough to it.
I have to say it, Loud have done their homework, and it is showing right now. The contact into Art here, getting that pick, and not just running out.
Which team is the best on Pearl right now?
They baited out so much of that defensive utility, the fade eye, the Tejo missile.
I mean, in Pacific, DRX probably. They're the only ones that's surviving, that's liking to play Pearl, right?
Smart fundamental play right now from Loud. Here's that dash play again.
Aggressive. They're investing a lot behind this.
No, Obito's talking about players that used to play in South Asia. Dust9 and Persia both played for South Asian orgs before their current teams. Dude, Loud is out shooting, man.
And now that's B-side completely open.
How do they lose this?
Calling a freeze to the round. Zekin, he's re-aggressing into A main. He's got to be.
I'll tell you who's not the best on Pearl, Paper Rex. Wow. We're getting Sherlock over here.
Like two ships in the night. Oh, only one of them knows more than the other.
What great IG yelling right now. You dagger the sight. It hits Zalsis in that moment, I believe.
Kawenzine is still in that position that you
Yeah, which team is best on Pearl? Worldwide, I have no idea, actually.
You're gonna get 3 on the round for Kawenzine.
I actually hope we, now that you mention it, I hope we see a lot of Pearl at Bangkok.
Still a winnable situation here.
I like watching Pearl.
Can he convert?
He has to convert.
It's a big ask. No
Oh, Paper X used to be great at Pearl.
Pancata stands with him though.
But the thing is here's the thing, is, you know what's funny is that it's not like Paper X's Pearl hadn't been broken apart before. It was within Pacific, but then internationally teams just like didn't VOD review that. And then and then they kept winning.
There was so much to do, carefully, meticulously, clearing every single angle, every single corner. He's got to speed up. The time is not on his side. Off the tap, he spots one.
When's your next cast? My next and last cast will be on Saturday for the lower finals.
Spotting the other now has idea where both of them are. But it's
Oof, I thought he was going to get that, actually.
Loud will get to 5.
I'll probably still get the knife bundle just because it's esports related, but I don't know. I'm not really liking it. I'm debating because I have the lock-in one, so.
You have to be frustrated, but the timing on the lurks and the deposit, using the recharge of the dagger to get info that there's still a player on A.
That's a fire match. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. No matter what, out of the 4 teams. I just hope it's not a 3-0 no matter what, but.
Vinny, the IGL sitting at 7-4-4. Another KO ultimate online.
And a timeout called from Sentinels. Again, the last time we heard from Kaplan, he sounded frustrated.
You like it a lot, the new one?
What he was seeing,
I mean, hey.
I imagine the conversation hasn't changed much here.
And at this point,
I don't got any opinion on other people liking
I
it.
would imagine be very spawn with that lineup dart.
Do you mind explaining why it's your last cast and just kind of what happened overall? Sure.
And so far there's been so many different type of looks.
I mean, explain is a I don't know if I can do a good job of explaining it, but
you aren't winning those 50-50s.
basically there's what's the best way to phrase this? Well, basically there's obviously VCT Pacific is a very, very large team. And so like everyone has their own designations, right? There's like people within Riot in charge of like content, social media, like broadcast, this broadcast, that broadcast. They even have like, you know, people in charge of like the feed that goes out to other languages and all that. So it's all very segmented. Coming into this year, the person who was overseeing the global broadcast got changed. And so they wanted to basically do like a I guess kind of feedback review session with everyone individually. So we had the chat and they were like, yeah, so like you know, we're doing this just to see, you know, how we might change things on the broadcast team, etc. And then I got told that there was no offer for me for 2025. I mean, I don't know what else I can explain outside of that without getting into all the nitty gritty, but obviously even I don't know all the nitty gritty, so.
Any damage is well spent. That's a big one out from Bang. Off the flash to swing from DG as he continues to go.
But even the stuff I do know, so I guess for clarity, and then I asked if I could get a debrief. Didn't hear back until, and then I reached out again directly to the person in charge. Because the way it works right now is that, at least in Pacific, it's the broadcast partner that still contracts the talent. Like the contract itself is through the broadcast partner. Obviously, Riot has a say, but like they're the ones who sign off. But so the broadcast partner is the one, you know, Soup is the one who called and was like, so we don't have an offer for you for 2025. And they were like, but we need someone to stand in for kickoff. And I was like, oh, you know, it's kind of a funny conversation to have. But anyway, and then they were like, would you like a debrief with Riot? And I was like, yeah, no, I would love that. You know, just due diligence. And then I never heard back. So then I had to reach back out. You know, I just reached directly out to Riot afterwards, after the new year, since it was the holidays before. So I figured they wouldn't be responding anyway. So I did have a debrief, but I don't want to share what went down on the debrief just because obviously that's all. It's only one part of the discussion. And I think there can be so many different assumptions that can be made from that. So I don't feel necessarily comfortable sharing that. But it's not like I was completely left in radio silence to the very end, although I did have to reach back out, which kind of... It didn't leave the greatest taste in my mouth, let's be honest, right? I feel like, you know, at least giving me a proper debrief was the least you could do. But But at least when I reached out, they were like, oh yeah, like sorry about that. Let's have a chat. So
They've been picked apart this round. You imagine there will be a change on the approach from Loud, because it seems like Sentinels have figured that out. A flawless one as they get to 2.
yeah, so there was a debrief. You know, I was told, you know, a little bit of their decision. I kind of, you know, once I had known I wasn't getting an offer again, I kind of figured, like, I kind of knew what that discussion was going to be, because obviously they can't share everything, I'm sure, no matter what the decision is, right? In any company decision, you're never going to be able to share everything. So having been in positions like that, like, I kind of figured what that conversation was going to look like. So it's not like I had any eye-opening things there where I was like, oh, wow, like, I hadn't even considered that or anything like that. But it wasn't, like, all completely just, like, BS either. So I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, like all stuff that sounds like it's made up or whatnot. But yeah, but at the end of the day, like, it was kind of like, okay, well, you know, at the end, like, the reason I wanted an exit interview was just because I just thought that would be good to have, you know, due diligence. I wasn't really expecting to hear anything new from it, just because usually you don't from exit interviews.
And they call freeze to the round again. You mentioned it a couple of rounds ago, but the calling from Loud has been
yeah, no, I hadn't discussed it before, just because it's like I wasn't quite sure how I felt about all of it, right? And so I didn't want, like, my biases to bleed through it. Now, obviously, like, I've come to terms with it, and it is what it is, and it sucks. But I'm also, you know, finding enjoyment in the things that we're trying to, you know, I'm trying to work out with YouTube and Twitch and stuff. So yeah, so that's what it is.
Draw the veil over their eyes.
Sight will be given here, though. Vice ultimate in the hands of Zelsis.
So yeah, so I mean, you know, is it forever? I mean, I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully I get to cast Valorant again at some point. But for now, for the known future, Saturday will be my last cast. But, you know, I'm not sitting here being like, well, okay, fine, I don't get to cast, so I guess I'm just gonna retire. Like, I hate it when people say they're gonna, like, even within casting, people are like, I'm gonna retire from casting, and then 2 years later they're like, I'm casting again, and I'm like, that's not the point of a retirement. So
This time not jumping the gun. I thought John was gonna invest that Armageddon in elbow.
just because you favor, oh, I saw that comment on Reddit too. I don't know if you're the same person. I did think it was really funny. No, I can tell you that it has nothing to do, chat, if it had to do anything to do with my bias for RQ, then Seth would have been fired immediately after the first year. I did think it was funny though.
On this map of Pearl.
I think even more so.
More Chobra streams and coast. Oh, for sure. Even kickoff. Honestly, when they asked me to stand in for kickoff, I had deliberated for a little bit, because I was like, well, if I'm not gonna be casting, like, I still want to do Valorant stuff, so I want to do more co-streams, more content, and I wanted to make sure that I was like, I could figure that out for myself ASAP. But obviously, if I'm casting on and off during kickoff, you know, my priorities would be split, because I would still want to do a good job. Like, I don't want to just phone it in just because I'm standing in. So so it was a consideration for me where I was like, I don't know if I want to split my priorities. Obviously, you know, I would get paid, and like that would be more than I'm able to make in the first months of trying to make something work on YouTube and Twitch. But you know, do I want to do that, or if I'm gonna think long term, like, do I just want to build stuff up? But I was like, you know, it'd still be good. I'm still excited for kickoff. I was excited for these teams. You know, it'd still be good to get whatever chance I can. So yeah, so for the later part of the year, like, we should be doing more. Like, I am a little torn on like how I want to do my co-streams. I think, you know, just because I'm in Pacific and I've come from Pacific, probably Pacific will always be like a pretty much like 99% rate of watch partying all the matches. But when it comes to, because part of it is that obviously, especially now with Ryan not doing VCT China content much anymore, I think I just think it'd be good to cover that. Like, not that I want to like, I'm not saying that, oh, well, there's a gap there, like I should fill it or anything. I just think, especially with EDG winning, like, we should all just know more about the Chinese scene. And watching kickoff, like, it looks like it's going to grow rapidly. So that's a consideration. And then Americas and EMEA. I'll probably keep up with more now that I'm not casting, but I don't know if I would watch party them. Like, I don't want to, I'm not interested in going the Sliggy route of like 24-hour watch parties. Just because A, like, obviously Sliggy has a monopoly on it and he does a great job, but B, like, I just can't do that. I just can't. But I'm also just more interested in trying out different content on YouTube, like whether it's analysis, whether it's like story stuff, whether it's interviews, whatever. So obviously you have time splits there.
Good awareness on the spam there. He held down that pit area just by himself.
In regards to the other regions, I obviously, yeah, like it would be on me if I was interested or not. At the time, not really, just because like my wife and I were pretty set on settling down for now in Korea, but I mean, that's all circumstantial, right? I'm not completely against, oh my gosh. I'm not completely against the idea, but I wouldn't do it if my wife wasn't comfortable moving either, so.
What do they have? They have Bang's hold. John has the op.
No, you're the news. The Korean Sliggy. The Korean fans also really want like more watch parties and stuff because there's just actually not that many watch partiers in Korea, especially not ones that are like just like trying to analyze games, right? So I was originally considering maybe doing Americas and EMEA in Korean on Supen, the Naver platform. But it sounds like the Korean casters, so the Korean casting has also been cut down from 3 to 2 per match. So it sounds like the Korean casters might all like start watch partying as well. So if they're going to do it, I mean, I probably won't. Sliggy's so lonely doing all his co-streams. It would be crazy if like we just did co-streams every match. I just can't though, chat. My wife would hate me if I did. She's very supportive, but I think, and if I told her initially, and I told her that I really believed in it, she would support me initially. But once the reality hit that I'm literally just napping for 2 hours and then stuck in front of my computer for 4 to 5 days a week, and then just sleeping the other 2 days, I don't think she'd be very happy.
Maybe anticipating a switch up. They're all fighting here. Yeah, I think they expected Loud to find.
I honestly, Sliggy has really good discipline on top of like the work ethic. But it's funny because someone was asking him about like what's your greatest strength as a coach or whatever, and he mentioned just like time and effort. Like I'm always confident I'm willing to put in more time and effort than anybody. It's funny because I've always felt that way in any work I do, right? If I'm working on something that I believe in, my strength used to always be, oh, I'm willing to just outgrind whoever. There's actually an episode back at OGN where this actually caused a bit of commotion. Oh, dude, what was the setup for that? He doesn't TP in, he just jumps in, right? Damn, off of the Nightfall. And then the Teho util as well. That's good. I mean, Sen's got some good they've got some good executes. There was an episode at OGN back when I was working for OGN in Korea in like 2013 where the global team, we only had like 4 people because it had just been built. So like we had to split all the duties among us, from managing the channel to updating channel descriptions to moderating the stream to doing global business to working with the casters, etc., etc. And obviously I was part caster as well, but I worked in the office, and we didn't have any editors on our side. So is YouTube disconnected?
And with Sadil in the co-streamer booth watching the games.
No, I don't think so.
I just have to say this is
the stream not working?
Sadil, I literally
So what was I gonna say? I just haven't been looking at chat because I've been telling stories and watching the game. So what happened was we used to borrow time from a guy on the marketing team at OGN to help edit and upload highlights from the English cast. And, you know, oftentimes it's the same clips just from the English broadcast, so the timers are the same. But it was still an extra layer of work. But we were having some issues with the way that YouTube was flagging things. So oftentimes the global content would be flagged as copyright because it's like getting uploaded separately but not without the right clearance. And so I had asked him to, like, hey, can you do it this way so that it doesn't happen anymore? And he's like, that is extra work, but let me see. And then I got called by the head of the marketing team like a couple hours later, and he calls me over to his desk, which is in the middle of the office at OGN. And then and he's like, so I heard you requested more work from our guy. And I was like, well, yes, but because we need this. And he was like, yeah, but he's on our team. You can't just, like, who's paying his salary? Like, he immediately went there. He was like, who's paying his salary? And I was like, okay, but I thought we were all on the same team. Like, I thought we were all trying to grow the company together. And I thought we were trying to grow the global stream together because that's like a bigger market. And he's like, well, then you guys should hire someone new. And I got so pissed. I mean, this was my first time working in an office, right? So, like, a lot of offices are like this, not just in Korea, mind you. But I got so pissed. So immediately in my head, so what used to happen back then at OGN was that I would do the recordings for all the team entrances, like team names. So every time a team like every match, we would have a video that plays with the players, and they would enter their booths, and it'd be like, SKTT1, and like that was my voice. And obviously no extra pay because I'm a salaried contractor. And so I was like, wait, so just because he's your team, like, we can't figure out a way to work this out? He's like, no, like, he's under our pay, so like you're not getting more work out of him. So I got so pissed that I was like, okay, so then since it's my voice, can you guys stop using the team intros and the Korean highlights unless I clear it for you? And literally the office just freezes because in Korea, nobody would talk to their superior like that. Like, nobody would talk to an authority figure like that in Korea. The office just freezes, and he sits there, and obviously he doesn't want to look dumb in front of his subordinates, so he just sits there and he goes, okay, fine, we won't include them. And in my head, I'm like, you're an idiot. What do you mean you won't include them? You need them. Like, there's no other recording of a team name. You're an idiot, and you're letting your ego get the better of you. And he was like, fine, we won't use them. We'll always ask. And I was like, okay, great, deal. And the reason I said that was because in my head, I was like, okay, you don't want to do this? I'm willing to go ahead and edit our highlights, overnight and upload them before you guys, so you guys get copyright. So in my head, I'm like, I've always been the same type of person where I'm like, if it needs to be done, I'm always willing to sacrifice more of my time than anybody else, like, in the office or the team. The funny ending to that story was that I step away, and I know I crossed the line within, I mean, probably not just Korea, just in an office situation. So I know that, as much as I don't think I was in the wrong, I probably crossed the line of etiquette. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, I'm a contracted guy. Yes, I'm technically a foreigner, but, I'm still Korean. So I don't want this to backfire on me. So then I went up to the overall department head, because the global and marketing teams were part of the same department, when he came back from lunch. And I went to him before anybody had a chance, and I was like, hey, I just thought that you should know that there was a bit of a discussion between the two teams, but I do think I think I was a bit over aggressive, and I just want to apologize if that caused any issues. And he sits and listens to the whole thing, and then he goes, okay, got it. And then he says, wait here. And then he gets up and he calls over my team head, the global team head, and the marketing team head, and me, tells us all to follow to a meeting room, and then he sits down the team heads across from us, and he sits me down next to him, which I was not comfortable with this, by the way. And then he sits us down, and then he goes, in like, how poorly are you guys working that the newest kid in the office has to come up to me and tell me that there's a problem? And I'm sitting here like, oh, this is not, I didn't want this to blow up this bad. Like, this is not what I meant. This isn't what I wanted. I just wanted to save my ass, man. I didn't want to. Oh, man. And so the team heads are just like, we're sorry. And he's like, get your he straight up is like, get your shit together and work this out. Like, I don't want to ever hear from this ever again. And everyone's like, including me, everyone's like, okay. Oh my gosh. So then we come out, and my team head like takes me down for coffee, and I'm just like, oh, I'm really sorry. I did not mean for that to happen. And my team was very chill. Like, I still keep in touch with them now. And he was like, no, like, it's fine. I get it. Obviously, you just, this is just how like offices are sometimes, and there's certain processes, but he was like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But chat, the marketing head, dude, that guy, he did not like how that played out. He held a grudge against me the entire time I was at OGN, and he wouldn't say hi back to me for the remaining 2.5 years. It was actually crazy. I was like, oh, you're actually like, in the morning I'd walk by, be like, good morning, and he wouldn't even look at me. and then you know what the greatest thing is and then I joined ESL, for those who know, ESL America, and ESL worked with OGN for one IEM. And obviously, I was the point person on that project because I could speak Korean and I worked with OGN. So we come back. So I come back to work on this IEM in Korea and to work with OGN like 2 years later. And so obviously, we are now contracting OGN as ESL, right? So like, we're paying OGN. Okay, this is very important for you to understand. So I get to the OGN office for a meeting, and the marketing guy comes down to greet us, and he's like the friendliest guy ever. He's like, yo, it's been so long, like, how are you? Do you want coffee? Like, here, like, etc., etc. And I'm just like, this is weird. Like, this is weird. Oh, ESL, for those who don't know, ESL is another tournament organizer. They're probably still, I don't know if they're still the biggest globally, but they run like IEMs. Now like DreamHack is with ESL as well. The ESL 1 tournament, stuff like that. So he's like all friendly to me. And then the funniest part, Chad, the funniest part isn't even that. Obviously in my head, I'm like, oh, this is weird. And then in my head, I see what's going on, right? It's because, we're the ones contracting them, so he has to be nice to me. But my favorite part is, after we say our hellos, my old team head pulls me over and he takes me outside for his smoke break, and he goes, did you guys ever work things out? Like, between you and the marketing? And I was like, no. I've never talked to him since I left Korea. And he's like, oh, why is he so friendly to you? And I was like, I don't know. And he's just like, huh, well, that's weird. Oh, man. It's just pettiness. Corporate pettiness at its best.
Take a look at this round one more time.
It's one of my favorite sagas of my career at OGN. Have you seen worked with like? Oh, I mean, and since then, since we worked together as business partners, like, he's been friendly ever since. I mean, I don't like contact him separately. Like, I don't keep in touch with him. But if I run into him now, like, I say hello, he says hello. It's all good. Okay, I'll look into clipping this. Maybe I should probably add like stick figure diagrams though, because I think people are getting lost in the sauce with the character. But yeah, the whole point of that story was that I know what Sliggy means when he says work ethic and time, because I've always been that. It was the same at ESL America. Like, I would take on projects where I would overextend projects, and people would be like, well, that's going to be too much. But I would do it because I'm like, no, I'm willing to stay overnight at the office for this, right? Like, if I believe in it. But the problem therein comes in that now that I'm married, my wife is very supportive, and there are times, obviously, for instance, when I was watch partying Americas and EMEA during kickoff, where I would do it, but like, I don't want to make that a habit. I want to make sure I balance my priorities. So things are a little different than when I was obviously, you know, in my 20s and single, and I could pour in my life to work.
And that's so interesting.
So
He is off 56% of the defensive rounds.
And he's not, I mean, he
hasn't had one
choosing
online
not to,
at all.
Yeah.
And maybe it is on purpose. Maybe it's deliberate.
have a clickbaity title like politics in esports. The dark side of esports.
I mean, it kind of just get bombarded. But here's the change up. It's that B long control.
Yeah, chat, I'm going to be honest. I've lost track of this game. My eyes were on the screen, but I don't know what's going on. I got too stuck in my own story.
But it doesn't matter. Everyone geared up towards that A side of the map for Sentinels. The furthest.
What's up, Awkward? How's it going? 20s and single is crazy.
But this foot race looks like it's going to be won by Sentinels.
Just review map 3. Is that the important one?
I mean, they cannot fight here.
Look at all this utility.
I mean, that's what the first half felt like. Is the second half more or less the same? Because then we're skipping. I do like watching Pro, though. Yeah, I hate that EMEA just keeps banning Pro, which probably means we're not going to see that much Pro at Bangkok.
In every sense of the word. And I think again,
YouTube, were there questions about the game? Because I see you guys having a very legit game-based discussion, and I have no idea what you're talking about, YouTube chat, so I'm sorry.
Already, DG getting active, taking space,
Off the rip.
looking to push the pace. He's left with a head.
When did you meet your wife? Oh, what, dude? That was that. Wait, but hold on. Oh, Zekin just does a double take. That's all. He has a classic, yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Kanzin's good though.
The type of plays you're gonna have to make if you want to send Sentinels to the lower bracket.
Yep. And you need more.
How are you feeling on the Gen G DFM game? I mean, I think Gen G looks more drilled, but I think DFM was also just. I think they just didn't have the turnaround to prep for Gen G, and that made them play scared. I was actually, I don't know if it's because I said it on stream or not, but I was surprised at how many people were commenting on how scared DFM looked, because I think that was just like the biggest game-breaking factor. DFM was playing with zero confidence that game. They weren't ever taking contact. I like mentioned it on the round that Munchkin clutched, but on the cast. But I think that was. I think Gen G would have still won. I just don't think DFM had much prepared strategically, specifically for Gen G. And again, I think that's always going to be the biggest deal breaker between the weaker teams and the stronger teams is, can you adapt to it on the fly versus do you need anti? But even then, like, it should have been a little bit closer just with gunfights, but it was not. It was not like that.
Having to jiggle back and forth, but the fight will be here towards that A site. Good tail utility to get some space, be able to drop down.
Oh, I would say Paper X got pretty strongly antied by DFM as well. But when we say anti, like, that doesn't simply mean that they had the entire playbook and it was just like, you know, super easy. But the fact that you're aware of their habits, you're aware of their defaults, you know where they're weakest, like, you know where to strike, like, even that alone, right? And that gives you the confidence to start taking fights, and then that snowballs, because now you're like, now you're willing to take more risks, you're willing to make more calls and things like that.
Alone in a smoke. Yeah, around a smoke in mid. Absolutely.
But yeah, going back to the non-game question, when did I meet my wife?
Right, a pistol's a wild, wild west.
That would be 2032.
That boy likes Tejo player. Yeah, boy likes his Tejo.
Yeah, 2022 summer.
Dang, almost getting taken out by that, but an outlaw is found out from the side of Sen, so it was flushed out. Good reaction so far from Loud. Off of that, all that mid pressure from Sentinels, there was a dog all the way through A, and look at the minimap, Kawantin is already flanking.
A spit at the
Yeah, no, it's very recent. I proposed on our 200th day anniversary, and for those who freak out that there's day anniversaries, it's just a thing in Korea. 100 days, 200 days, 300 days in a year. But yeah, I proposed, like, I was pretty convinced, like, I was already, like, very sure after our first 3 months together. And then I proposed, basically, after 6 months. And then we started prepping, and then we got married, like, basically a year and a half after we met.
Oh, I know. I mean, I think that's a fair ask. I do think.
So only like 6 months dating, yeah. So, so that was like a thing when we were getting married. Was my wife was like, I still wanna like just kind of, just like enjoy the, you know, our time as newlyweds, since we didn't have as much time dating, which is totally understandable. But I think part of it is also like, you know, once you're older, you know pretty well like what you want in a partner and like what's important to you, I guess, more so than what you want, like what's important. Right, and you obviously, you know, you don't know anyone perfectly ever, but the red flags and green flags are much clearer. So
they clear the trip, they flash out towards heaven. 2E's posted up, crosshair trained. Get the kill. And DG not far.
Dude, why am I worried about this? Okay, nope. I was about to say, why am I worried about this round, but for Loud.
Having to swing his way back in. Again, just so uncomfortable. You got the room, but you've got the dart. You know that the walls are closing in. Still finding his way onto one, though. Still an opportunity to pull this off. The swing is too wide. The shots are too clean. Loud get the bonus.
He was in the flow state right there. He was so aware of every single angle that Loud could be coming from.
DFM has had good reads, and PaperX was also whiffing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, PaperX, I am curious. I don't know what the best way to analyze this would be. I am curious if PaperX has slightly dropped in their firepower, or if everyone's just caught up enough that they can't just stomp with firepower anymore. I'm leaning towards the latter, which would cause more whiffs because you're not killing everyone instantly the moment you see them anymore. But I am curious, because then there are moments like Paperthin said where something just looks like out of it sometimes. And oh, dude, the confidence. Dude, Loud's gonna lose after this start? You're telling me Loud's gonna lose after DGZ just marches out against Ecos, knowing he's gonna get another kill and they're gonna get the round?
It feels like it's getting out of hand, but Sentinels.
Breach Sky as well. Personally, not a huge fan, but
multi-kills upon multi-kills.
I want to say he can't be stopped. He keeps getting 2 kills around right now.
Even in the face of the salvos, DG holds W.
Yeah, that was crazy. Let's be honest right now. That was crazy.
maybe a bit of both. People are catching up. Yeah, I mean, could be a little bit of both, yeah. People are definitely catching up. I think that part's probably true, actually.
That's very ambitious. Very, very ambitious.
They're going to get bailed out. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. The movement is really... I mean, you could be whiffing, but it's because they're no longer standing there for you, right? So now you have to adjust.
These openings, these windows of opportunity, this might snowball.
Yeah, so to me, it's felt like it's a combination of everyone's movement has gotten better, but their aim has gotten better. So the times you're not whiffing, maybe they're also not, so they get the kill anyway. So it's like, you know, back in the day, even if you were getting red, like PaperX would just barrel through, you know, 3-man jump onto the site, and then they you know, one of them gets the double or triple kill, and then you move on. But now, oh, whoa, 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 Tui's not like this. Why is it always Tui's when people aren't looking at it? Oh no. Vandal moment. True. We've been seeing it a lot with the Vandal this kickoff.
It's so tough though because your money isn't really all that great.
Yeah.
We play Premier. Can we run this comp on bind? Raise, Deadlock,
Could trade off that orb,
Sky, Brim, Tejo.
get closer to that ultimate.
Yeah,
Sentinels have some really heavy
you
hit
could.
points that are about
You
to go
can.
offline. 2 off of the Viper's pit. 2 off
But I think the Deadlock would have to be quite good.
Just use Zekken's ultimate in the following round to secure a free site. We've seen that recipe for success.
Right, between the breach stun and then
Yeah, it's flourished.
The salvos off of the
Frost's strats and comps work better.
I just feel like
Honestly, on paper, chat, Frost cooks some good comps.
Zekken's gonna ult in,
They're not all like meant for the general meta, but they all have some good purpose, and they could be one-offs. Like that's okay too sometimes.
Well, I think part of the conversation then has to become: are Loud expecting the same thing, and are there any adjustments?
This might be a noobish question, but why have Viper walls like that for the T side? I know how it helps in going to ramps and then force the defender close by vents, but
Are Loud expecting the same thing, and are there?
so this one, I assume that's the one it was. Well, it is just it's the lurk pressure is the main thing, right? Is that it gives you an opportunity to lurk. So, and because of that, they now have to either change their utility or always have someone here, and you can continue to jump peek that. So once they're not there, if you do take the space, what happens is it lets you basically pinch onto heaven as well. So if you are now in ramps and they haven't checked for you, now you know if you can take mid, they have to back out. Because now you can flood in, and it's not just one choke point. It's still not great, but you know what I mean? So most likely then you get heaven. But if you take heaven, what happens is the retake gets harder, because now you have to funnel through here. And then also you can rotate to B faster. So it's the opportunity of all of that passive pressure from the one toxic screen. It's not bad against the retake either, but that does depend on where you plant and what you're holding. But the primary purpose of almost any Viper wall on attack, to be quite frank, is to always leave the possibility open, right? So for instance, on Haven, if you do the one that goes like from A lobby diagonally into like, oh, that's not how I want to draw it. Like B as well, right? This is also the possibility of pressure on A short. Obviously, yes, it acts as a smoke for B as well if you need to go in, but the primary potential is that they now have to forcefully check for this area and hold on to it. So, yeah, same with bind A short, right? On bind A short, you just send it straight up in through lamps, right? And that now has someone forcing to be like in lamps or constantly using util to check. Yeah, so really any attacker screen, it's usually the same purpose. But on split, just the 2 avenues within one site actually opens up a lot of mid presence for you as well. Yeah, no problem. Give me comms for fracture. Just copy. I mean, dude, as long as you have raise, like you can build up any comp on fracture.
It's okay, man. Sometimes you just can't.
I mean, honestly, you put breach, raise, Tejo, and you're kind of good to go with whatever else, you know? Just don't play Killjoy anymore, and then you'll be fine. I think even Cypher is still fine.
We'll be here with the operator, but there's so much utility that's going to be thrown his way. If he can somehow get a kill on top of it, it would just be one of the most ridiculous.
Are we never gonna play League? You know, no, I am curious about this. You know, this new league, new year, new me league.
How much space that can just clear? What a great breach stun. Tui's is dead for free.
There's just too much VCT.
Their eyes towards B. Oh my god. a ratty spot, but this time nothing found. Discipline out
Sun's
from the
starting to
boys on
warm
the
up
attacking side.
after, you know, 48 rounds of Valorant.
This is huge too because Sentinels are in a position where they can win this round without having to invest ults, and then you're
How many people in chat want to watch me play League or want to see me play League?
That was such an
Are there a lot of
amazing
people?
ultimate from Zekin. He cleared out so much space, gave so much
League with
information
Sideshow.
to John
That would be fun, actually. Me playing at, you know, 200 ping.
Heaven split. The utility was
You know, that's how everyone used to play in Korea back when.
DG's in, gets bombed out, can't even get a kill in B main, and then he also just gets routed.
I want to watch you play Valorant. I actually thought about playing some rank today. I do want to get my rank back up, but
You have to try to disrupt or at least play retake.
we're recording Cosmic Divide with TMV today, so I figured I should watch at least a little bit more of Sun so I have an idea.
Every time. He just it's just in his brain.
Just barely off the mark too.
Deadlock. I used to stream Deadlock last year. I love Deadlock, but supposedly the Asia servers are hot garbage right now.
Gee, I don't know if he's gonna have enough money in the bank to be able to buy up another one. If he does, it's gonna be a big investment.
Oh, Pancata overstays.
Yep, Cosmic Divide. Gonna be on the next episode of Cosmic Divide, everybody.
Bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
It's gonna be me and TMV mauling about Paper Rex, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Spot to be in. So here we go into the next Sentinels with the 3 ults that we were talking about, and Op still in the hands of DG.
Who do I main in League?
This time, it's a line posted up towards
I mean, at this point, nobody. I haven't played a proper game of Summoner's Rift in who knows how long. And I used to just always rotate like different roles. Like if I was playing, I started as ADC. I started as ADC back when ADC was mid in, you know, preseason 1.
Tries to tuck tail and get away after getting one, but
So ADC always has a special place in my heart. But, you know, then I played mid, and then my stack didn't have a jungler, so I learned to jungle. And then I felt like top really forced you to learn mechanics, so I started playing a lot of top. And then I felt like support really forced you to learn to, like, you know, watch the map better and macro, so I played a lot of support. So I just rotate. It's the same thing in Valorant. Like, I always rotate to something I haven't played in a while, and I just make sure I, like, understand that position as much as possible. And try to make sure I, like back when I was casting it, try to make sure I'm playing like all the different characters so I know what they do like in and out.
so even with that, you don't really win that fight.
Like I make, even in Valorant, like I make it a point of like trying things that I imagine in my head whenever I learn, like when a new agent comes out, just so like I know firsthand what it feels like. Like even if you watch a video sometimes you're not really sure, like it's possible, but you don't know what that takes sometime. So
Kaplan was not a part of the conversation. John has navigated this really well to get Sentinels back.
I don't have bottles of oil, Tron. I wasn't about to buy just tons of bottles of oil just for TMV.
Peeking out a little bit too early, getting caught off guard, not getting the trade on Kawanzin in mid.
Do you still talk to the league casters? Yeah, you know, like if there's something, like if it's someone's birthday and we meet up, yeah, we catch up.
Done a great job of using ultimates on key rounds.
I just call him in.
But I don't like keep in touch with them regularly, but that's mostly on me. Like it's not like we hate each other or anything.
Credit being given to the IGL
And Dabs. John's so laser focused.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk with chat with TMV. Yap for a little bit. Which years of OGN? Well, I was a sub in for Monty and Doa from 2013 to 2015. I casted the first ever LCS qualifiers for MLG before that, and then just like some things here and there. Like I casted one of the MLGs after that as well from OGN, and then I went over. And then I casted the OGN Masters because we did a tri-cast for that. But I like casted a lot of the qualifiers and stuff for League at OGN.
This comp has so much utility to deal with.
Blue
Aggression. It's
Lemons. It looked like Temens. Blue Lemons. Thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate it.
loud investing into this round here.
태호 삭제. 아, 페르시아님. 안녕하세요. Everyone say hello to Persia from Nongshim Red Force. 태호 어떻게 삭제할까요? 아예 지워버릴까요? 너무 센 것 같긴 한데. Persia wants Teo and Vice deleted from the game.
first 15 seconds, bang, he takes some friendly fire, but he's got this.
바이스는 개인적으로 좀 좋은데.
He doesn't care.
I do like Vice though.
So keep a close eye on that. Meanwhile, you've got Pancata who's trying to anchor out onto the site. Tui's playing close by, trying to cut off any.
아 근데 마스터즈 끝나면 테오는 바이스는 너프 안 할 것 같은데. 테오는 너프 되지 않을까요? You guys think Vice will get nerfed after Masters? I think Teo, well, after Masters for sure Teo gets nerfed. I don't think before.
They know that DG's on the close angle, tries to flash off the op and does.
Oh, he sometimes comes to YouTube chat. Don't worry, YouTube.
While Zelsis has gone exploring, that's up really close by. What a shot from DG.
Yeah, Teo definitely gets
Now
nerfed.
Narrate's left in a clutch situation. He's got the sun, but he's been sunned himself, turning around on the flash.
근데 진짜 그게 제일 어려울 것 같긴 해요. 이제 맵도 또 바뀌니까 이게 뭐 테오가 또 너프가 될지 안 될지 또 테오의 또 스테이지 1을 위해서 다 올인하기는 또 그럴 것 같긴 한데.
Any of that early aggression not dying to those missiles in B heaven, falling all the way back, letting Pancata actually have.
Yeah, now that I think about it, man, while you do have more time to cook up if you've been eliminated from kickoff, with the map change coming in and most likely a nerf, but we don't know what, on Tejo and other balance changes, man, it's got to be a little complicated to craft things up for stage 1 too, though.
Seems like he always lands it too, which is crazy. And now, I believe this is a quick answer back at Sentinel's timeout. Timeout after timeout. This is just
No.
how the game has gone, how the series has gone.
다시 네온 버프죠.
Anchor and biding his time.
Neon buffs for Dombi. I'm okay with that.
Seems like he always lands it too. Has gone wrong.
아, 그러게 왜 네온만 그렇게 하셨어요? 아, 원래 레이즈랑 제트 잘하잖아요, 담비.
I mean, perhaps that gap in Pancata just being backside B. Usually, Sentinels bomb that out with some type of utility. Yep. Whether that's a breach seas or anything.
You get more time with the new. I mean, yeah, I guess you do get to, like, you spend more time with the map rotation for sure, but
And I kind of like the pacier rounds from Sen.
The op again in the hands of DG with Vinny close by.
you know, but the agents would matter, right?
More passive approach here.
This is the round. Okay.
Used to be on Chamber quite a bit.
Good flash.
One has been
Oh,
cleared, a massive dink
dinked.
from Vinny, but the shot does not connect from DG. The NATO
It's all right though. So far. Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa, what's going on in mid? Oh, they're so convinced. Wait, dude, what the hell?
The NATO buy a little bit of time as narrate.
Oh,
Staying almost too long.
dude, what is that? Did he? Oh, he launches it over the box.
Fight ensuing mid, the paranoia is out.
Oh, now you go A for sure, yeah? If you're sent?
Again, Sentinel's not allowing Loud to get
Because
comfortable here.
you saw 2 here and you saw 2 mid. I mean, A site is empty. A site is a free.
He needs to be careful here. He needs to play for the retake.
He's been cut off. How far up do Sentinel scale here?
Dude, what is going on?
Who's gonna be on this late
Okay,
lurk? Kawasaki's
well,
ready
he
for it
gets
for one
caught.
down.
That's good.
Numbers the way of the defense, but the attack has already gotten the site. Ult now invested. Second takes a step back.
Hot
Aggressive push on the
flash.
other side of
He's
it.
got people on the other side, so he knows they don't hear anything.
They're straddling the wall.
Now they're back, and you're watching Heaven.
Power and numbers, they're overwhelmed, they're outgunned. John's left in a 1v4.
No.
He's gotten 2. Only halfway done
Oh.
on the job, and DG cleans him up
Jeez.
again.
I was expecting something completely crazy.
Another quick scope. I mean, if John gets that kill right there, he had the salvos, he has the Armageddon. It's infinite stall. He can outplay whoever was on site. That was Cowan Zine. But what good awareness right here from Cowan Zine, and then also DG Zine holding Zelsis in heaven.
Anyway, we're all sad here, Persia. That Nongshim's no longer here. I had more ramen to make. 아, 저 라면 더 먹고 싶었는데.
It gives you more confidence that
이제 와이프 눈치 보면서 먹어야 되잖아요. 농심 탈락해가지고. 맨날 먹방하면서 먹으면 아무 문제 없었는데.
Think things over. Back into the next we go. Round 10 on the cards. John with his ult. Second one off. Meanwhile, Loud had plenty to speak of as well. And an aggressive push towards A main. Off of the stun. They're even getting a deep dog here.
All right, fast push out A.
out the Vipers
Chat, we better be in for some whoa. I mean, he knew there was the op was coming. So they know the op is pushed out. They have mid control. They're expecting backup. But you're kind of stuck.
Oh my gosh. And the problem with that jump shot was DGZ hurt.
I mean,
so it gives them even more time to prepare mentally.
There's the ult. The stun too.
chat, there's no way.
Second with nowhere to go, and he still gets a kill.
So clutch.
And he's gonna be able to pop his ult, get away.
But the spike is dropped. He gets it.
It's still a 2v4 though. I mean, this is still really hard for them to convert.
No.
He has to even the score.
Second's got to do something here off of the flash.
Dude, sick flash.
One of his own and then TPing away.
But they're already getting wrapped. Look at DGZ.
No, there's just no way, chat.
Yeah, the benefit of having the numbers advantage here. Again, the demand for heroics. Things slow down for just a moment as DG's creeping forward.
Wait, why are you guys? What are you guys doing,
The
chat?
barrel of the gun spotted and now position given away. They know where second is and they're going to be dropping it on him. Narrate is close by and he's dead. Much more to be found for second. He's going to have to ace if he wants to.
Oh.
Can second deliver? A fake TP and now second creeping forward. Quietly off the tap too. He's waiting close by. He's sticking it to half. He's going to stick it all the way. Not able
Oh
to settle
my.
the shots. He buys some time. Second delivers for Sen City.
Pendant with you.
The tap. If he wants to win this out, make that 4.
Dude, what?
Really hard for them to convert.
He knows he has to even the score.
I mean, it's just second. Like, there's nothing more.
Flash turning forward, eating one of his own, and then TPing away.
But they're already getting wrapped. Look at DGZ in B main.
Yeah, the benefit of having the numbers advantage here.
Like, what?
Again, the demand for heroics.
This is where it breaks down, man. DG's in getting. Dude, DG's in saw. Dude, this was not the shot to miss. Friggin' leading the board. Oh, why did he? Oh, I didn't even notice it. Why did he peek back in? Oh my gosh. Dude, that's insane. I mean, it's still amazing afterwards as well. I was there at this match in person, and my god, it was insane. The crowd went crazy. Zekken's family signed 7 on the 7 players. Or the whole Zekken chant. I mean, Zekken saves the day.
That was a masterclass in isolating fights. He turned 4 separate 1v1s.
You guys want more emotes on 7TV? Let me know. Post it on the suggestion board on Discord. Just so it's like, post ones that you want, and then if they're up to my standards, I'll add them. Do you think rounds like these give momentum? Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%.
The implications of that 1v5.
Right?
Look at the economy.
Because I mean, it fires you up because,
You can't make it
like,
up.
now you've got, like, it feels like it's the same thing in, like, actual battles, right? If you have a hero or a commander that comes in and, like, saves the day, like, suddenly everyone's like, yeah, we can do this. Like, we rally behind that, like, for sure.
Yeah, you know you're consistently going to be good, but there's going to come a time where your team calls upon you to make a play. And as you were saying, the economy is now.
Can we have freaky emotes? No. I don't want chat. I do not want my chat to end up looking like friggin'
They're done.
friggin' Bread's chat or something. We're not gonna go too crazy. I'm down for fun stuff, but I can't stand to watch a chat that is just all crazy, just animated gifs.
A great follow-up round. Emotions can be riding high after seeing your teammates do something
YouTube.
like that.
YouTube. Here's the thing. Okay, so YouTube members.
Secure the follow-up round, should win.
The membership emotes, the reason I'm holding off is, I guess, for one, I actually don't think I have the original files anymore for my Twitch emotes. But two, I want to get new emotes anyway at some point, like in the early half of this year. So I figured we'd just wait for that.
Yoru ult in VCT, Sentinels have converted.
He's gonna get the opportunity at it again.
Oh.
The TP forward, they know where one is.
Get out of there, buddy.
But yeah, no. I mean, listen, chat. I don't have 7TV installed, by the way. The Caster Labs has it, so I see or it has most of them, I think. So it shows. I think it shows most of the emotes you guys spam, but oof. No, you're telling me this? Oh, dude. I mean, yeah. I guess there was nowhere for him to go. But I don't have 7TV, so like when I watch other people stream, I don't even know what emotes are being spammed. Chat just looks like all gibberish, chat. So you guys have to tell me.
With 45 seconds left on the round, they're choosing. They want to take a walkabout.
If you need the rhymes. Oh, right on.
Can't be heard from that far away. Running at the perfect moment. Yeah, there's some Cypher utility here, but it'll buy enough time for Sentinels to potentially get into
YouTube chat. It really sounds like a lot of cope. You guys okay?
They have to get ahead of this if Loud want to win this round, because that Viper's going to be so hard to retake into.
The triple delay, 7 bullets left for Zelsis.
No way.
Oh man, 7 is all he needs. Wait, how many bullets does he have left? Observer. Oh no. Twoies. No. Dude, that's a breakdown moment, man. Oh, that is a breakdown moment.
What good resilience shown from this squad. What a shot, man.
And then that right there, the finisher.
Not panicking when he's getting full sprayed down.
Oh, rough. Yeah, and it had to be Zelsis on the other side. Oh, that hurts, man.
Another banger. We're going to take a quick break.
If second didn't clutch, yeah, I think so. Dude, suddenly making it 6-6 at the half on attack?
Now on the attacking side.
That's really solid.
They'll be tested. We'll see what they can do on defense. Second is already really far up. There's a breach set up.
And this is the thing that the Euro allows you to do is all this aggressive stuff too. You can basically take early space, then rotate, then relocate. But now they have to clear everything because you might have TP'd out, but someone else might still be there.
That's all it is for now.
Dog up mid gives a lot of information.
Yeah, that was clearly like a pressure moment for Twoies, which is so unfortunate because I feel like with just a little bit more like mental coaching and performance coaching, Twoies could get really good too. Like he's generally quite good and consistent, but in those moments, like there's just so many now of those moments from him. Oh, it's unfortunate.
Be able to put some pop shots into somebody that's vulnerable, get the kill.
Classic no armor. Bang has to take a step back too.
That Molly, so many members.
Q. Oh.
And he still gets a kill off of it.
All that damage. Pancata did get B main off of that though. A lot right
Okay,
off
they
main
delay
right
the
there.
spike though.
John is close by, but he's been smoked off. The missiles are
Ooh, good salvos.
The utility makes the difference. A desperately needed
Damn. Wait, but where was
been smoked off. The missiles are so good.
where's Pancata going?
John is close by, but he's been smoked off. The missiles are so good though.
My guy.
Forget about taking
I mean, you guys are looking at DGZ, but I'm thinking,
been smoked off. The missiles are
why are we not fighting this together?
utility makes the difference. A desperately needed pistol. The way of Sentinels.
Can we agree Paper X needs a vibe merchant like Zelsis?
One of the best to do it. He holds these sight downs on Ohm and Astro, whatever
No.
it may be, Viper sometimes.
We can't agree. Because
The controller duo.
to say that they need something right now, it has to be something that will
Look distraught. DG's
objectively automatically bring their floor up. And I don't think a vibes merchant does that for them right now.
You could feel a shift right now for Sen.
I think a proper IGL,
Come through.
and I mean, again, it can be Forsaken. Like he can learn to be more of a proper IGL, but like that will just take some time, right?
This is their map, man. This is when you think of Sentinels, you think of
Yeah, but I would argue it's more an IGL thing. Like if there was ever one thing. But to me, it's just multiple things, right? So they have to figure out what their priorities are, and there has to be a good diagnosis. But I do think you need a proper. I think now in just the current day and current meta, like you just need a proper IGL, and the IGL doesn't fix everything either. They don't, but I guess okay. Let me add a caveat to that. You need a proper IGL and a proper comm structure that respects the IGL, right? But the reason the IGL wouldn't necessarily fix it is because you would need to now train around the IGL, and people would still need to have the discipline. The IGL can't like babysit everybody, so I think that's part of it. But I think it is really just the core system that needs to adjust a bit. I'm not saying you have to rip it apart. You can still do W gaming, but
this B hold back-to-back rounds. Yes, that was an anti-eco.
Will you co-stream VCT Challengers Korea? I am debating it. I don't think I'll do every day full matches this year, but I might do like 1 or 2 matches a week, like just select matches. Not sure.
Bonus round operator. Are Loud gonna read into this, or are they gonna get picked off?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? Like, has the meta developed where structured IGLs are more important? But I think it's more so that now, basically, I think you're seeing, because an IGL does more than just like simply make the calls, right? But the IGL, you're basically putting the mental stack on one person to have a lot. Obviously, the best teams, you have more than just one IGL. Like, you've got subcolors where you've got people who are very vocal, like we saw with Gen G last year. And so, like, an IGL doesn't fix everything. Like, we're seeing that with Munchkin right now, where, you know, I would consider he still has some good calls, but it is much slower and sometimes not as accurate as last year. So, you need still the vocal aspect of everything, but I think an IGL would add consistency if you built the system around that, because now you would always have a certain flow chart of information and the way you react off of it. And there would be a system in place. So I think that's what would help. After kickoff, will you keep co-streaming? Yes. For VCT Pacific, 100%. But Challenger stuff, I'm debating how I want to do that, because I want to try to make more like YouTube videos around VCT Pacific. So. Oh, is it Dirix and Genji Academies tomorrow? Oh, that is worth a watch. Yeah, now that we have Academy teams, that is worth a watch. And Fear X as well, since they're the old Nongshim squad. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just more Challengers VOD reviews than... The reason I don't want to get in the habit of doing live matches for Challengers is just like, if there are tech issues or whatever, or like if the match is a slop, doing live watch parties really ties you up for the entire duration, and sometimes, you know, the time is not best spent doing that. So if I'm going to be doing that for Pacific, like, I don't want to, because then it's just very easy to get, again, locked into the Sliggy schedule, which I respect, but that's not what I'm looking for. So yeah, VOD reviews for sure I'd be more open to. And that way I can do more VOD reviews like on and off of other regions like SCA as well and Japan, rather than only co-streaming Korea and Pacific. Oof. VCT, no, I know Japan's happening right now. I should probably at least just get clearance for all the challengers for watch parties. But I wanted to watch this just so we can at least talk about it at a surface level with TMV, because I'm recording Cosmic Divide with TMV later tonight.
Seeing one come across, drawing the suck. There's not a lot of time on this. Off the tap, the spam coming through. Nary has to get aggressive. He's got to go. He's only got
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I used to do a little bit of coverage of Japan and Korea challengers with YouTube content last year too. So that's definitely a possibility as well. But it's just at live watch parties, right? Like doing live watch parties and then making video and then doing more watch parties for like multiple leagues is... It's rough, man.
And an overheat from Loud, giving 2 free kills on a free B site. That's something that's gonna be in your nightmares.
I mean, it's... Oh, now everybody's getting fired up off of that one.
You guys didn't see that. You didn't hear it. You didn't read the lips. There was nothing there.
Wait, what? What did he say?
That's something that's gonna be in your nightmares if you're loud.
Oh. I mean, that's not... That's not that bad.
I promise. It is a family-friendly show, okay?
Sultan is on Revenant, I believe. I think.
Like Loud was finding a way back into this. They get shoved back. This war of attrition seemingly going the way of Sentinels now. And Second's in a really nice spot. Not triggered by the cage, but he's got to be careful.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Tries to get away, but fails.
I mean, you already have Garage, so information gotten. John's been using his Util quite reactively as well. Other than Lotus defense on Rebel. They used it at the start of every round.
Celsius with this judge. He's just going to be jumping around for his team.
Whoa, 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 whoa. They've got 2 rifles. They've invested the ult as well. Out onto 1. Tui's is in a really good spot here.
Showstopper online now as well.
They've got the tools. They've got to look at them scatter. They've got to run away. They've got to give the space up.
Yeah, but the Rolling Thunder was used so early. I don't know if this is enough time spent. I mean, I guess you get a kill with it, so. Surely not again.
I mean, despite their best efforts, though, it's going to be on Bang, and he gets dropped as soon as he swings. Narrate will get 1. It looks like an attempt at damaging.
Oh, Sultan's at Naus. That's what it was.
But some parting shots. Loud will get to 8. The money's not great.
And this is just one of the most...
Yeah, I can't wait for Bangkok. Bangkok's looking real promising, chat. I can't wait to watch Party Bangkok. Speaking of watch parties, I wonder if...
It feels like a team is just going to take it and run away. The other steps up. Huge.
I wonder if I got a response about the finals of kickoff. I'm trying to see if there's a... Not yet. Hopefully by tomorrow. Trying to see if there's a slot to watch party at the stadium. Maybe with maybe I can try to get a guest there too if it's gonna be at the studio. So since there's space.
Can you put on this kid's shoulders though? He's gotten 1. He's done well to get that far.
I mean, if not, I might still invite some people online, maybe. But from which region do you think this year's Ascension winners will come from? Without having watched any of it yet, that's I have no idea.
This is messy. All the potential to get out of hand. The flash timing is really nice. Second's not able to contribute here. Has to TP and get away, and does.
I am curious. I'm curious what the effect of the academy teams will be, though. Because obviously academy teams can't ascend, but the quality of academy teams should influence the rest of the teams, right? And also, wait, so what's the rule if an academy teams wins challengers? Do you just have to sell them off? Is that the rule? I can't remember. I've asked this like 5 times and I can't remember the rule. Is it simply that they just can't ever ascend, or is it you have to sell them off?
The smoke to try to isolate. You've got to be careful here. 1 kill found on the side.
You think Sen versus G2 will be close after watching this?
Second just barely missing those shots in B main by a thread. His timing, had he peeked out even just a millisecond sooner, he catches 2 players not looking at him. That's truly what this is coming down to.
They can.
DG, you're right. He's online now.
You just have to. You sell them off. Oh, man! If that's the case, chat. I don't know. Oof. Just historically, the big Korean orgs, dude, their academy teams are really good. They know how to train them up. I would be a little concerned.
This is not a fake. They're fully committing into this, but they're going to have to deal with the pit. Meanwhile, DG's down. One kill found, and there it is. The pit now down, the site now theirs for the taking.
What a great paranoia.
In the face.
Huge. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ooh.
Pain goes aggressive.
Good decision, though.
Switches weapons. Finny now weak. Spike still in the hands of common team.
Wait, how?
Getting the plant down. He's got weapons.
You are divided.
This is not a fake. They're fully committing into this, but they're gonna have to deal with the pit. Meanwhile, DG's down.
So he dodges all of that.
Found, and there it is. The pit now down. The site now theirs for the taking.
What a great paranoia.
Dude. This is a massive...
This is not a fake. They're fully committing.
Oh. It... I just don't quite understand why Loud would purposely pinch through pit with their Cosmic Divide. Yeah, I don't know.
Quiet now. Kawanzin in a really nice position.
He's in a power position right now.
And they think the site is going away. They think the rotation's back towards A. What a shot from Narrate.
What do you mean?
I don't think the Academy players can go, though. Only the non-Academy ones. Oh. The correct roster change for Paper X is to simply buy the entire DFM roster. You know, it all makes sense to me now. I hadn't thought of it, but that must be why I'm not a GM. Hey, what's up, camper?
And they take the lead once more.
Beautiful round, beautiful answer back. And it's just shocking.
The thing is I think Sen will be good this year. I'm not seeing them beating G2 like now.
On the other end, 5 Phantoms in play. One headshot is all it takes. Sentinels, they're very good at getting these spam kills as well.
Academy teams can't ever be relegated. But the Academy players can't.
How can Loud set DGZ up for success to not get picked off early?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the other question would be is, we're assuming, because, you know, for instance, for Pacific, let's say, I mean, either Boom or Nongshim, let's say they go down to Ascension. Right? Let's say they make playoffs. They go down to Ascension. I'm curious how that would work too, just because the time you have, the experience you gain by playing in Pacific for the whole year is pretty big.
But instantly re-cleared by John QT.
But I guess, yeah, I guess one team, there's a good chance one team does get relegated, right? Because you'd have to at least make playoffs. And it's pretty tight right now in Pacific.
From Sentinels.
They're concerned. I mean, look at John's position right now.
If we get Paper X Potter, I'm gonna go freaky. I'm curious, like, down the road, what Potter's legacy will be. Like, what more might happen, right?
I wonder how long his TP timing has. It's also spamming through, not connecting.
Okay. Salvo's on top of stuff. Oh, dude. Good flash with the clone. Oh, great. Wait, John's timing is really good here, too. I mean, dude, the clone flash plus a crossfire. That's good. You're not Potter pilled? I mean, I think it's reasonable to want to see more. I think that's okay. Well, obviously, without taking away her accomplishments so far, which I think obviously that no one should take away. But in terms of, like, do you think she could really make any, you know, go and improve any team? I think wanting to see more is perfectly reasonable. I'm a pretty big believer, but I'm also a very big believer of Zeke's since the league days. Currently for, you know, coaching 100 Thieves. So I always did wonder, like, what the exact division was between the two.
Tahoe missile crunch.
And I wonder if there was maybe some chemistry there that's now missing. But
Back towards spawn.
It's the right call. But Zekin,
And they don't have the guns.
the man of the hour, is he going to get overwhelmed?
it will always be 2023, 13-0 to champions. I mean, yeah, I guess the story there is hard to beat.
Given up the site, but they've lived to fight another day. They've managed to stay alive. Spike now planted. A 5v4. Narrate has ult. DG's in a really nice spot. But when is the cue for him to go? Keep an eye on Pancata on the minimap as well. Still playing back towards mid. Tui's getting swung on. Zekin's dead, looking for another, but he's overwhelmed. Now Vinny.
Oh, they are very fast with the tail util.
Planet for heaven. Zelsis hearing Pancata drop.
I mean,
DG's the only one with the rifle. Pancata has nothing but a sheriff, and he's gonna fall. Banks gonna stick the defuse all the way.
oof.
Sentinels get to series point.
Methodical retake from Sentinels.
I was a huge believer until she started putting Derek on Sky.
A little bit in that site. But as soon as John gets that pick through the smoke, he teleports out, plays the numbers game. That discipline was the difference.
What do you think about Yari's utility on the breach?
Great trade as well.
I don't think I've seen any egregious errors, but I haven't really seen any
No pings anymore to
game-changing either.
You're left to your devices.
But I think my standards for breaches are pretty high now because we do have some great breaches around the world.
Match point for
But I would also argue that if you're going to play breach on split, it has to be good.
What's the play for lap? They have a rocket. They have Vinny's ult too. First one popped. DG looking to go forward, stunned.
but no one clears this.
They've invested more. John's in the discipline corner, and he's gonna go unchecked. He's gonna find
Oh, dude, not taking out DG's. Dude, sacrificing narrate there, 100% worth it. Holy.
12 HP.
What a call.
Situation down. Off the clone, off the flash, bang going backside. He's spotted.
Dude, what?
He's dead. Can Pancata 1v3? Was Spike out of hand?
Well, that's just the nail in the coffin right there.
Clutch is paramount here.
Oh, man.
Sentinels were pushed. Sentinels were tested. Can they ace the final test here? Pancata dropping down. Look at this high-low setup off the paranoia. Zekin looking to connect on the swing.
Oh, taking that hit is so unfortunate.
It'll be the
Would have been doable if not.
way of Sin City. They take down Loud.
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because Loud was fragging out as well. So there's an argument to be had that Sen's fragging power and clutch power is so big that, and well, I guess actually that's probably the best way to put it. It's so great that they could overcome any opponent, but the consistency is probably, there's still a lot of maturing left to do, which I think will come with time. I was curious how these jerseys looked in full picture. Not a big fan. What do you think about Luka to the Lakers? I haven't followed the NBA close enough to have a strong opinion, but I mean, I get the context of it. It's like all everyone's talking about. I was watching a Korean co-stream of the 6 Invitational chat last night. A Korean co-stream. And even they were talking about that trade. Oh, man. Sen jersey is better than the EG. Well, the EG polo shirt is not great. But yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where I stand on Sentinels after this. I mean, this was mostly a slugfest. But Sentinels overall had better executes, I think. Might just be because of the tail. Yeah, I don't know, chat. I don't know. But I could see, you know what? I could see Sentinels making Bangkok. I just don't see them beating G2. But I'm like, I was with Sliggy. We watched, one map of G2 against C9, and I was convinced that they were the best team in the world right now. So, I mean, I don't think Sentinels is necessarily like hard favored against either MIBR or Crew, to be very honest. But I think Sentinels, they can come online for it, I think. Would you say that? No, I don't think they had a slightly bad day against Loud. They didn't look... They just look like they still need some time to cook, which is kind of what I expected. I'm pretty hopeful for this roster, but I kind of figured they would need some more time. I think G2 versus Sen will be hella close. That's what some of you guys are saying. It could be. Could be. I mean, listen, I think if people say that G2 is being overrated because of their opponents, I mean, yeah, I don't think that's... I think that's totally true, just because, yeah, they did beat... But I guess... From what I've seen from them, the way they play, regardless of who their opponent was, is what's convinced me. But that could always be because their opponents were weak. So maybe it just looks even cleaner, right? Like, who knows? But right. But in my head, it's more like if their opponents weren't relatively, weaker teams, then maybe the scoreline would be closer, or we'd have a 2-1 or something like that. MIBR G2. I mean, is it that wild though? MIBR going on a run? Considering now that they've been on a run. I didn't watch this game, but I mean, I was pretty big on MIBR. I believe in the Osmos effect quite a bit. I mean, Crew's got a really good roster too, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll see. If this is close, like some of you guys are saying, then it should just be Sen G2. But if it's not that close, I think this could be a 2-1 though. I do think Sentinels can take a map from G2. I don't think they would just get blown out. But I think G2 will still win. I don't think it's going to be a complete stomp. I don't think it's that. I think Sentinels is good enough not to get stomped for sure. Did you know that Artisan is also IGLing too? Oh, no, I didn't know that. Actually, I think I read that somewhere, but it just didn't click. But, yeah, I mean, I guess on paper, Crew, I guess, would be the second? I don't know. Who would win 2G or Zeta? That is, yep, that's the eternal question. Who's the worst team in EMEA? Who is the worst in EMEA, chat? Is it still Apex? Man, but yeah, because I'm thinking maybe Koi. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe. But I do think either Koi or Apex probably beat 2G and Zeta and all gamers. So EMEA has the highest floor. Her floor really was our ceiling. Who's the worst in China? Wait, that's Evolution. Where's finished events? Oh, Tai Lu is actually the worst. It's not even all... Yeah, no, it's not even all gamers, man. It's Tai Lu. I forgot about Tai Lu. Wolves is pretty bad too. I'm not a big Wolves believer anymore. I mean, I was never a huge believer. I just thought the firepower would be enough, but I'm not a juicy believer. No, I know it's funny to do that against TMV, but Tyloo's got to be the worst, man. Yeah, so Tyloo, 2G, Zeta Division, and then Koi, I guess. I think Koi wins that, though, if that's a tournament. But honestly, I don't know who wins after that. Tyloo, 2G, Zeta? Can we throw Furia? That's also true. Furia's getting off scot-free. That's not fair. Well, okay, if you're putting Spike into 2G, that changes so much, though. You think Zeta beats Tyloo? I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced, man. You think Zeta's better out of all of them? I'm not convinced, chat. I don't know about that. I just hate that Zeta just doesn't have any proper macro still. And I think the moment they get out-aimed in a couple fights, Zeta just plays scared every map. And then they just won't win, even if they maybe should on paper. Yeah, but I think literally pugging would beat Zeta as long as your aim is good. Not because, like... Because that actually counters Zeta in a way. Is what I mean. Like, if you just play full confidence pug... and you just win a couple of fights, Zeta will just play scared. And then they'll just keep, like, fighting their own demons. Unless Zeta can fix that, I don't know, man. Because everyone's aim is so much better now. It used to be that they would still had at least like one or two defaults and a couple people that could still out aim the other worst teams, but dude, wait, where are all these Zeta glazers coming from? Did we watch the same Zeta games, chat? Zeta was not exciting to watch. I mean, yeah, I guess they did have a rough bracket. That is true. They had to play the two teams that literally counter their style. That is true. That's true. Yeah, I might have just forgotten how bad Tyloo was. I might have just erased it from my memory. No, I like Depp, but like, and Shota, yeah, had the clutch. But the macro's so weak. It's not about believing in Zeta, but believing in Tyloo and 2G. Oh, man. I'm just happy DFM won some games because it would have been funny if they call. I hope DFM does well in stage 1. But it's, to me, honestly, the bottom teams, it really is about adjusting quickly. It really is about learning to adjust. Well, okay, not for Zeta. I actually think Zeta needs to learn macro. Okay? They just need to learn basic macro. i.e. rotations. GE just needs more time, I think. Plus Patrick. Because that'll change things. Secret. I mean, I think Secret needs to learn how to play a bit more proactive, but I don't know. This is the simplest way of putting it. I might like Oh man, if I had to pick which team I like the least in terms of how they play right now, I would be very torn between Secret and Zeta, actually. But starting from here, like Boom just needs to learn how to adjust quickly from match to match. DFM needs to learn how to quickly adjust, which means that what that comes down to though is like you need a better practice system and then better fundamentals, right? Like Gen G's way of getting around that is not switching comps, you know, and you can say whether it works or not, like in the long run, but it works for the short run for sure. No, is it a stray though when you're probably the least memorable of this tournament? I don't know if that's really a stray. I mean, no offense to Team Secret, but they shouldn't have gotten this map. They shouldn't have. But later we just found out that RQ just... Their Lotus just also needs a lot of work, so maybe they should have gotten it. I don't know. Are you gonna bring back the RQ jersey? I'm considering it. We're in mourning right now. They need to like Jesse Vash isn't even. It's not even. I don't think an individual is the problem on Team Secret. I just think they need to. Retool how they call and how they default. And if that's specifically a Jesse thing, then sure. But like Jesse was the only guy who went positive in this match. I don't think you can really say that that's the problem. His util's still really good. Well, I guess, yeah. I guess Team Secret's quote-unquote excuse is that they didn't have much time with the new coach. Meow. So, I guess maybe we wait and see. Yeah, I don't know. Well, a lot of teams need to train new IGLs, though. Well, that's for sure. Like, you can't just keep hoping to pick up someone else's IGL, because everyone wants to do that, and not everyone can do that. So, like, you need to start training new IGLs. And trust me, Maka was the last guy I thought would be suited for IGLing, and he has grown within a year. So if that, it's possible. It's possible. You know, Stax wasn't an IGL. He wasn't a born IGL. He didn't want an IGL. They had to get him off of IGLing for a bit and have Zest try it. And then he still, you know, he became an IGL. Like, you can do it. You just have to stick with it. Are you done with the VODs? I got to hop off, actually. I'm done with the stream. So I got to get some dinner before I hop on with TMV. So that's going to be it for the stream, chat. You guys are going to drag me into a crazy spiral of discussion if I don't hop off right now. So that's it for today. I am planning on streaming both tomorrow and Thursday as well. Although tomorrow and Thursday, we might just chill. Maybe play some Path of Exile or something. So that is going to be it for now. Thanks so much for dropping by. Thank you for all the new subs today. Really appreciate it. Love having you all, both on Twitch and YouTube. You guys are all very, very lovely. Thanks for all the newcomers as well. And I hope to see you tomorrow. That'll be it. Have a good one.